Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black glasses. I'm wearing a grey t-shirt with my logo on it. Pretty cool, right? In this weather, it's not going to be a great idea because it's going to be sweat patches. And I'm sitting in my Tesla Model Y with my lovely family because we have been on the Gold Coast for a week. On the Gold Coast? In the Gold Coast?
On the Gold Coast?
On the Gold Coast. It's been a lovely holiday. Got to see my brother, which was cool. Camera from New Zealand, you don't care. And we are now on our way home to Melbourne. We're going to do this over a few days. So on our way up, we stopped in Sydney for one night and then straight through to Tweed Heads. Whereas now we're going to drive down to Sydney. We're going to be in Sydney for a day because Archie has not been to Sydney before. And so he wants to see the Opera House and the bridge and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to do that for a day and then head down to Melbourne. The challenge for this trip, or the big challenge, we actually weren't going to film anything because we were like, oh, we're tired, we just want to go home, we're done. But we thought you might be interested on the way back because the east coast of Australia has been hit by a weather bomb. And there's been some serious rain over the last few days.
Yep.
And we're probably going to have to take things a little bit slower than how we did on the way up.
Definitely.
We'll drive the conditions. We don't know what the road's going to be like, so there could be a bit of drama. Probably not. We'll be fine. But I thought you might be interested. Very quickly, if you haven't seen my videos before, this is the bit where I talk about the basics of road tripping in an electric car. I'll be as brief as possible. Most important thing to remember about road tripping in an electric car is you don't want to charge up to 100% when you're stopping to charge. The way the batteries work is they go from 10 to 80% pretty quickly, from anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, but that 80 to 100%, the battery slows down in terms of how fast it can charge, and that can take 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah. So generally with the charging stops, you want to get to a charging stop somewhere between 10 and 20%, 20, whatever, below 80%, charge up to 80% and then get going to the next charging stop. There's plenty of chargers along the way. Using a Tesla is really easy because there's loads of Tesla superchargers. Really cool thing is we've got free supercharging miles because we've used referral codes to get free miles. Now let's go and see what we're doing now. I'm remembering to set a trip. So that was the Tweed Heads one. So we're going to set this one as Sydney. And we'll see and go reset. Yep, cool, reset. And that's going to be in there so we can see where we're going. And you can see right now during our trip already, since we've left Melbourne, we've done an average of almost 2,000 kilometers. Yeah. Now, road tripping in a Tesla could not be easier. Basically, you type in the address of where you're going and the car will work out everything for you. So
it's been a breeze. Okay,
so 600 and whatever kilometers away. So this is suggesting that we're going to stop in, interesting that we're going to stop in Harwood for as much as 50, oh, okay, drop down. Now, I did charge the car last night at a supercharger here on the Gold Coast. Been a fan. I'm blanking on the name. I'm sorry, I'm terribly bad with names.
Terrible with
names. But lovely guy, originally a Kiwi, born in Christchurch, grew up in Auckland, now lives on the Gold Coast. It was lovely to meet you. I hope I did talk too much, but I've been with the family and we're doing holiday stuff and have been able to nerd out on Tesla stuff for a while, so I nerded out a bit. The setup, by the way, so this was in Broadbeach. So the Broadbeach shopping centre, there's superchargers there. Really nice setup. Yep. I wish I'd taken some photos or some video. So it's by the valet thing, fairly easy to find once you find it. But something I noticed as I was leaving is they've got a row of waiting bays. So they've actually got parking spots set aside for if people, if the things are busy. You can wait in those bays, which is it's a nice touch. Yeah. So what is the car telling us? The car is telling us that we are going. So we were up to 100% last night. I got down to 98% when I got back to the resort.
Yeah, Sentry mode, all
that. So the car's down to 92%. Really good. So it's predicting that we're going to get to Harwood with 39%. I've found the car on long drives. Generally, the first 2 charging stops is quite inaccurate because highway driving is the least efficient. So when you're doing 110 on the highway, the battery uses more energy than if you were just stop-starting in stop-start traffic, because the car in stop-start, it uses this thing called regenerative braking, where instead of using the brakes, you lift your foot off the accelerator and the car will slow itself down quite dramatically. You learn to feather it. It's pretty cool once you get used to it. And it's putting that energy back into the battery as it's slowing the car down. So that's why, well, there's loads of other reasons, but yes. So I reckon we'll probably get there with around 30%. Yep, realistically. And it's saying charge for 40 minutes.
Yeah. We'll see. Might not be that long.
Might not be that long. Also,
Haven't had breakfast.
Yeah, we're having breakfast. And generally we end up charging for longer than we plan because we chat to people and we get caught up in things.
I also have had coffee.
We're going to stop before that to get you coffee because I value my life. And then Port Macquarie, we should get there with 19%. I reckon closer to 10 or 15.
I reckon.
30 minutes for charging, then Heatherbrae, 17 minutes, 20 minutes, 17%, 7, then down to Epsom with 12%. Now,
We probably will charge more at Heatherbrae, but we'll see.
yeah, because we probably want to get to Sydney with a little bit more in the tank than just 12.
But it also it'll be interesting because we don't know what the weather's going to be bringing us. We might be driving slower, which conserves battery.
Yeah, so yeah, we might be going slower, and so at the moment it's predicting we'll get there at 6:15. I reckon 7's probably more realistic.
I reckon 7's probably more
because
realistic
we
at
are
this point.
probably going to drive slow because of the weather conditions.
Yep.
Anything else to mention?
Archie,
Yeah.
did you have a good holiday?
Amazing holiday.
Excellent. We will cover other things along the way, but let's get going. Oh, we've got enhanced autopilot, and we'll cover that while we're driving.
Yes,
We'll cover that
let's go.
See you in a bit. Jump in really quickly because I want to show you very briefly how Autopilot works on a Tesla. Now, Autopilot is what Tesla calls adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist. Also, while we're here, I'll show you how. So you see how this bar is green? That shows that I'm actually using regenerative braking to slow us down a little bit. And then as we're going up this hill and I put my foot down a little bit on the accelerator, that bar will go black, and that shows that I'm pulling energy out of the battery in order to push the car forward. That's how you see the regenerative braking stuff work. Now, to turn on the adaptive cruise control, you push down once on the right-hand stalk. So if I push down once, it's now turned on the adaptive cruise, and you know the adaptive cruise is on because it's got max in blue over there. And to adjust the speed, there's a little dial on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, and I can flick it up just once to add 1 kilometer, and I can flick it up sort of really quickly, and that'll go up in incidents of 5. And you can see there that since the car in front of us is going slower than 110, hello, the Model Y is going faster than 110, the adaptive cruise has slowed us down. Now, to turn on the lane keep assist or autopilot, to know that it's available, you'll have this little grey steering wheel in the dash here, and that shows that the car can see the road signs, all that kind of stuff, and the road marking, so it can work. So turn it on, you double tap down on the right hand stalk, and you get these little blue bars, and now the car will keep me in the lane. The other thing with adaptive cruise with the right hand dial is to adjust your following distance. You push to the side on the right hand dial. So if I push to the right, it goes down, you get all the way down to 2 car lengths, or you can push left and you go all the way up to 7 car lengths. I'm going to keep it at 5 car lengths, which I know is quite a bit, but because it's been raining and the roads are really wet, that's, I think, what's the way to do. The other way that you can get the car to go all the way up to speed, so if I push the adaptive cruise down to 105, I can just tap the speed over here and it'll bring me right up to speed. The lane keep assist, you know it's turned on because it's got these 2 blue bars on the outside of us, and with normal lane keep assist, one of the frustrating things is that if you want to change lanes, as soon as you turn the indicator on, it'll turn the lane keep assist or autopilot off. So to change lanes, it's a bit of a pain because you have to indicate, get into the lane, turn it back on, so on. We've used our referral points to get enhanced autopilot, which if you want to get it permanently, so we've got it for 3 months with the referral points. If you want to get it permanently, it's $5,100. You get loads of things like summon and things like that, where I can go over it a bit later. But what it does, which we really wanted, was it turns on the changing lanes. So the car will change lanes for me. So now that the car behind us is now behind us, we can change lanes. I put on the indicator, it tells me to apply a little bit of force to the steering wheel. It'll check that it's safe, and the car will change lanes. And also I don't have to turn it off and turn it on, which is, look, it's not a big deal, but it's just...
But it's a nice to have, right? Like, and that's the thing, is it's convenient.
Yeah.
And it's a nice to have, so.
Yeah, much more convenient. Now, obviously, if you want to turn all of this off, you just push up once on the left-hand stalk. So if I just push that once, it turns everything off. I'll just turn it back on again, get it up.
Or if you touch the brake.
Or if you touch the brake, or if you turn the wheel quite hard. Like sometimes I find when I'm using the auto lane change, I turn the wheel a little bit too hard and it turns the lane keep assist off.
Yeah.
So you always can get control of the vehicle. And actually there's a car coming in, so let me just do that again. And if there is a car, in the lane, it won't let you change lanes, obviously. And actually that car's speeding up really quickly, so I didn't actually have to change lanes.
You didn't, but that was...
And I was recording and it did it. Sometimes, and this is where it's not so good, is the car will decide, I don't want to change lanes, and it'll flick you right back into the right-hand lane. It only seems to happen when you're in the right-hand lane trying to go left. Going from the left-hand lane to the right-hand lane always works.
I also wonder if it's a case of maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think, like maybe the pressure is...
No, because it had started doing it. So, it started making the turn. So I'm glad that... I'm not glad that happens, but I'm glad that happened while I was recording.
Yeah.
Because that happened quite a few times on the drive up. And every time I started recording to go, look, this is going to happen, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave the cameras running the whole time so that it doesn't happen.
No.
Now, so this car's slowed us down a bit, so we're going to change lanes. And you know that the way that the Autopilot...
It's 100 now.
Okay, so let me actually get back into the left, because this ute behind us clearly doesn't want to do this. And you see, it did it again. And I actually had to take over. So we will keep us at 100 Ks. And yeah. So that is how the Autopilot works, and the enhanced Autopilot lets you change lanes. It'll change lanes for you. If there is a car in the lane, it'll show it as red, and it won't let you change lanes until you do. Obviously, you can take over and
force it,
but you shouldn't, because there's a car right there.
Yeah.
Also, something that the car does with the adaptive cruise, which is a little bit annoying. Sometimes when you're in the right lane and you're overtaking, it happens very often when you're overtaking a truck or a caravan, someone towing a caravan. Now we're back up to 110, so I can just hold down on the right-hand stalk, and that also gets us back up to speed.
That's a new...
I knew that, but I keep forgetting. Someone actually told me in the comments on a previous video, so thank you very much to that commenter. So so when you're overtaking a truck or a trailer, very often, for some reason, the car thinks the truck or the trailer is the car in front of you, in the lane in front of you, as opposed to on the left-hand side.
It kind of gets...
Yeah, it gets confused by the shadow. And
it's phantom brakes.
And phantom brakes. What phantom braking is, the car will think something is there and it needs to slow down, and it will just slow down. Once you're aware that this does happen sometimes, first of all, that's not okay. It shouldn't do it.
No.
I'm not excusing it. But once you are aware that that can happen, you're sort of, you're aware of it, and as soon as it happens, you put your foot down on the accelerator, and it's totally fine. Like here, you see, it's seeing that car as the darker one, which is the one that we're following.
Yeah. It did freak me out the first time it happened. And it does kind of freak me out every time it does happen, even though I'm aware that it's likely to happen, because it doesn't happen every time.
Like, for example, when we were driving up, so we drove for 2 days to get to Gold Coast, and it happened maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So it didn't, it should never happen.
It shouldn't happen at all. And it's not consistent. You're not going to say that every single time you pass a truck it's going to happen. And I think that's the frustrating thing, is that
you don't know why.
You don't know why or when, but you just need to be aware.
And that's the other thing, is that, so with this whole Autopilot, all this kind of thing, you do still have to pay attention. So if you don't keep your hands on the wheel, it'll come up and complain, and it'll start flashing blue and saying, put your hands on the wheel, put your hands on the wheel. Now, it's also that you don't have to put your hands on the wheel. You also have to put a little bit of tension. So you either have to give the wheel a slight turn left or right. So even if your hand's on the wheel, it's not detecting that your hand's there. It's detecting that your hand is
pressure,
putting a bit of pressure, upwards or downwards on the wheel. The other thing is that the Autopilot thing is fantastic for long drives.
Yep.
It's not that you don't have to pay attention. You absolutely still have to pay attention to the road. You still have to, obviously be aware of your surroundings, all that kind of stuff. But it just means that instead of having to concentrate 95%, you can concentrate at 80%.
I even find that I'm still concentrating, right? I'm not as
Relaxed.
I'm not comfortable driving, highway driving, generally, right? I don't do a lot of it. I'm not really massively comfortable with it. But it takes me down from like 95 to like 90. It takes a little bit of that stress off because I'm not having to worry about every little micro adjustment and micro turn. And I don't have to worry as much about my speed. And I know that's not like most cars have that these days, right? It's not that it's a revolutionary thing, but I find it just makes it a little bit easier for me. I found I still need to concentrate a bit more than you do because you're a bit more comfortable with highway driving. But it does just take the edge off.
And it does, someone made a very good point on one of my previous videos that I read this morning. I need to respond. Thank you very much for the comment. Is that they were saying that it actually also helps them, from their perspective, to be a safer driver because it allows them to be more aware of the cars around them and what's going on. And so you're not so focused on your speed and all that kind of stuff, and you can actually focus on if the car in front of you swerving a little bit or things like that. So it actually can make the drive safer, sort of thing.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So that is the adaptive cruise, autopilot, all that kind of stuff. The car, it's interesting. So we hit quite a lot of roadworks on the way out of the Gold Coast. And so we were doing like 60 Ks where normally you'd be doing 100 Ks. And so the predicted range, like it was predicting that we were going to get to our stop with like, okay, so now it's going, see, so it's complaining, it's saying my hand's on the wheel. So I have to apply a slight, it also takes a while for it to recognize it.
Yeah.
So if I didn't do that and it turned autopilot off, I think you get 5 or 6. Five. You get 5 strikes. And if that happens 5 times, like in a row sort of thing, or so
it's
on.
It's cumulative. So
it's cumulative, yeah. You won't be able to use autopilot for a week, I think.
I think it's a week.
Yeah, it locks you out for a week. And every time it happens,
it turns it off.
It turns it off, and you can't turn it back on, I think, until you put the car in park. So you have to sort of like pull over, put it in park, and then it'll let you do it. Like within the same drive, you can't do it again. I don't know for sure if that's how it works because I've never been brave enough to see what happens.
Can someone let us know?
Yeah, someone let us know. Now, also, I'm going to blab a little bit because there's this car coming up on our right. So just as they're on our right, I'm going to indicate so you can see what the car does when there is a car. So you see, it sees the car's right there. It's not going to let us change lanes.
Yeah.
So it does. Thank you very much. Also, there's a camera in the car looking at you. So it's also looking where your eyes are. So if you're looking off the road, it'll also come up with that whole thing.
Yeah, and don't think you need to look at the camera. You need to look at the road.
Yes, very important. So I think that's all the autopilot stuff.
I think so.
I was talking about range. So yeah, so at one point it was predicting we were going to get to the first charging stop with 41%.
43.
43. I got up to 43.
It slowed down quite a bit, and now it's
up to 37. And this is something that, like, the car knows where we're going.
Yeah, but it doesn't know the speed you're going to be driving, right? It doesn't necessarily know the speed the whole way because sometimes there's going to be more traffic, sometimes there's going to be less traffic. So, and as you said in the beginning, though, it does seem to, like the first couple of stops are a little bit like
it's getting used to,
figure out what the driving conditions are, all those kind of things. It technically should know.
Yeah, because the thing for me is like it knows that most of this way is 110. It should assume that I'm going to drive to the speed limit.
Yeah.
And so therefore the prediction should be right. If you do 110, this is how much battery you're going to use by the time you get there.
Yeah.
And I find that on these really long drives, it takes the first 1 or 2, like you're saying.
Yeah, it says it takes the first 2. You're right. Like it should almost assume worst case rather than
best. Yeah.
Well, like worst case for the car, which is no traffic and 110. Best case for the car, which is traffic and variable speed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting.
It's also odd that it doesn't seem to know. It's weird because it knows elevation. Like if we bring up this app, so this app shows you sort of how much you've consumed, how much you don't. So green means you've used less than what the car thought you were going to use, and orange means you've used about that or more. And you can see there's where, you know, we hit all that roadworks.
Yeah.
And it'll come up here sometimes. It'll show you, oh, you know, elevation has cost you X% on this drive. It's like, well, if you know that we're going to be driving uphill, so we're going to be using more battery, why do you put that in? Why do you factor that in? Like,
yeah, it's hard.
The car, in some ways, is so smart, and in other ways, I'm like, why? Like, this seems like stuff that the car should be able to work out.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anywho, we should be getting there in about 55 minutes, so we will pick up again when we get closer to our destination. See you a bit. We are about 1.5 kilometers away from the turnoff to Harwood. Interesting little discussion we just had. So we just passed a sign a little ways back saying that Coffs Harbour was 133 kilometers away, and I know there's a supercharger at Coffs Harbour. And oh, look at that cool bridge! Oh, that bridge just sort of comes out of the ground. That's really cool.
Looks like you're kind of going into the sky.
Yeah, very cool. So I suddenly had this thought of, oh, I wonder if we, you know, sort of keep going ahead. So 133 kilometers away from Coffs Harbour, and the car was saying at that time that we had about 166 kilometers of range. So theoretically, we could have made it, we could have skipped this charging point and gone ahead to Coffs Harbour, and we were tempted to, but I really need to go to the bathroom. So...
And just so people don't get concerned here, he hasn't actually been to the bathroom in 2.5 hours. And he has drunk a heck of a lot of water in the drive since.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. So...
Yeah. So
just
my bladder's fine.
Yeah.
There's been some comments.
There's been some concern.
Yeah.
We're fine.
We're fine.
We just do drink a heck of a lot of water, which is good for us.
And the older we get, the smaller our bladders seem to get. So yes. Now, interesting. So about 15 minutes out, the car started preconditioning. And what preconditioning is, so the ideal temperature for charging, I believe, is 45 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And so if you put in the navigation, in the map, if you put in that you're driving to a supercharger, the car will actually start either cooling down the battery or warming the battery up, depending on what you need, so that ideally you get to the supercharger and the battery is at 45 degrees Celsius, and so you can start getting the maximum amount of charge into the car as soon as possible. Going under the bridge and across. This is quite interesting where this charger is, because it's like in this little rural neighborhood almost.
Yeah. Feels very odd.
It is a bit odd, but here it is. And yeah, so I think what we might actually do, because the way the map's telling us, man, if you just pull that down, the way the map's telling us is to basically skip the Coffs. You got it?
Yep.
Is basically to charge here for quite a while, which means we will skip the Coffs Harbour charging location and go straight to whatever the one after Port Macquarie.
But which is what we did last time as well.
Which is what we did last time. But like the Coffs Harbour one actually looks quite cool.
Like it's at the Big Banana.
Yeah. So I think we kind of want to stop at Coffs Harbour.
Yeah.
So I think we will. Actually, yeah. I think we'll charge. We'll plug in here. Quickly go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then even though we probably don't need to stop at Coffs Harbour,
we will.
We'd rather stop at Coffs Harbour.
But it's also like we'll need to actually have a lunch break.
Yes.
Properly by then.
Yeah, and that'll be a nice spot for lunch.
Yeah.
Could you plug in, please? And
I
we'll see how
certainly
much
can.
charge we have. So this is like a version 1 or a version 2 charge, and the way that you know it is that it's got the plug for the older Model S's and Model X's, whereas the newer chargers have got just the one plug, which is the CCS2 plug. something interesting that a viewer put a comment on one of my previous videos this morning that I read is I've always been saying to people that when you come to these chargers, ideally leave a gap between you and the car next to you. So don't park right next to a car, because if two cars park right next to each other, they're sharing the speed of the charger between those two cars, and therefore if it's a 130 kilowatt charger, you'll only get 165, not 100, you'll only get 65 kilowatts. But what this person was telling me is that that's true for the version 1 and version 2, so the ones with the 2 plugs. But all of the 250 kilowatt chargers, it shares the power across all the chargers, so it doesn't matter where you park and so on. Something that's really interesting about the way that cars charge is batteries charge. So this can go up to 130, this charger. Our car can do up to 170 kilowatts, and there you can see we're getting about 123. And you'll see that as the car charges more and more, that charge will really slow down quite dramatically. And once you get to 80, it's really, really slow. It's not really worth hanging around. And you remember how I was saying we should charge it for 40 minutes? Now that we've plugged in, it's saying we only need to charge for 25. And I find that very often the car, when you're driving towards a charger, will predict longer than what it is, because it's not sure how much charge you're going to get. And once you plug in, then it knows more accurately how much you're getting and so on. Now, before I run off to the bathroom, very important. Snacks. We have to show what snacks we've got, because you cannot travel without platforms. So
we've got our usual.
First and foremost, biltong and dry horse. We still had a little bit of chili dry horse left over from Melbourne, but we figured it wasn't going to be enough to make it the whole way. So I stopped and went last night to get some dry horse and some biltong from a place on Gold Coast. Different styles. You can see here, you don't care about this, you feel free to skip in. So our one down in Melbourne, it's more tightly packed.
Yeah.
So it's like a sausage kind of thing. Whereas this one, and this is, I think, almost a bit more traditional. I definitely remember this from South Africa.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the filling's kind of loose inside the casing.
Anyway.
Still very nice.
We've got some nuts.
We've got some nuts.
We've got some traditional biltong. We have, in the cooler, we have the healthy stuff. So we've got some cucumbers and strawberries and some bananas and some apples, because we do have healthy things. And then Lee has a whole lot of other stuff. And
so, so I love random Asian stuff. Like, I can't walk past an Asian grocer without going in and seeing what treats and snacks they have. So these are these really cool kind of like, it's like jelly kind of thing. I love them.
I hate them.
You do not like the texture.
I've got some of the seaweed and wasabi Pringles,
which we really enjoyed the first time on our trip to Sydney a month or two ago.
Yep.
We've got these it's like these things. It's like poppy seeds and seed bars kind of thing. Got some wasabi peas. We did
have popcorn and chips, but Archie has
eaten most of those. We've got gummies. I've got some ginger and mango, and then I've got some dark chocolate ginger, because I don't get seasick in a car, but I like ginger.
Motion sick.
Motion
Can't really get seasick in a car. I don't know how you drive.
If you don't know by now. I think that's about it. I think that's about it. Yeah, not that many. These are the same treats we had on the way up, so it's whatever's left. Right, so this is saying we need to be 20 minutes. We're going to be here less because we're going to stop in Coffs Harbour.
Yeah.
Let's all go find a bathroom, we'll pick up just as we're leaving. See you in a bit.
Bye.
So we've been here, I don't know, 10 minutes, not even.
Yeah.
Yeah. Car, it's down to 90 kilowatts. We're up to 68%. Now it's saying we need to be here for another 15 minutes to get to Port Macquarie, and if we left now, we'd get to Port Macquarie with minus 2%, so we wouldn't get there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can add a stop, and Coffs. Okay, we've got Coffs Harbour. Coffs Harbour Supercharger. There we go. And we go.
Yep.
Add that.
And it's saying we'll get there with 38%.
Oh, yeah, so we can leave right now. So go ahead and unplug, please. Now, while I was in there, I always want to try and support, local businesses that are around superchargers, because It's great that they've got the superchargers here and so on. So, you know, I feel a bit guilty sort of going into the pub, using the bathroom and then not doing anything. So I got a $10 bag of macadamia nuts.
May it be noted that we do not have a nutcracker.
Well, the nutcracker was $50. So, I mean, I want to support them, but I don't want to support them that much. So we'll work it out.
Just a nutcracker somewhere along the line.
I'm sure we can find one that's less than $50, but that's they're very hard, Archie. Here, try and karate chop that. And that's how you break your fingers. Oh, well, I'm glad that didn't hurt.
So more patkos that we can't actually eat until we get a nutcracker.
Maybe there'll be one in Coffs Harbour. So, yep, hour and 12 minutes to Coffs. We'll probably have lunch there because there's the big banana there.
Yep.
And yes, that was a very quick charge stop. Although it's interesting, the guy at the bar who felt the need to tell me that he loves diesel, good for you, was telling me how that apparently on Easter weekend there was a wait time of about 20 minutes. He said they had like 15 or 50. He said 50 cars. 50 cars sounds like a lot.
I don't think it was 50 cars.
Yeah, I'm going to say 15, maybe. So
and
maybe.
yet it's interesting because we were here on the Saturday.
Yeah, so the day after.
The Sunday. We were here on Easter Sunday.
Yes, we were here on Easter Sunday.
And there was no wait.
There was no wait.
But maybe it was on like the Friday.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Easter Friday is, I think, quite possibly the busiest time of year on Australian roads.
Yeah.
So, duh. But also what's interesting is, like, if this was super busy, we could have actually
kept going.
Kept going, and we still would have made it Coffs Harbour. So we could have skipped this stop.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm guessing.
You are.
I'm going the correct way.
You've just got to kind of cross.
Oh, right. So we can't get onto the big bridge. We've got to go to the little bridge and then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Something. Did I talk about? Yeah. Not the best condition, these roads.
Yeah.
Did I mention the supercharging? Yeah. So it warms up and everything. But what's interesting is that if we had not navigated to this location, and so the car wouldn't have supercharged, because that obviously uses a little bit of battery as well. Preconditioned, sorry, yes. If the car hadn't have preconditioned, then that would have saved, I don't know, 1 or 2% battery.
Yeah.
To get us to Coffs Harbour without having to stop here.
And look, I think
it's such a cool bridge.
We still could have gone to Coffs, except for the fact that we needed
bathroom breaks.
And it's good to stretch. My physio has told me to get up and stretch my legs, stretch my back, which is really good. And you always listen to your physio. So, yeah.
So prediction now is actually, I tell you, the challenge is, if we're planning to have lunch at Coffs, the challenge now is actually that if we're going to have lunch at Coffs Harbour,
we're going to have to plug and then move the car.
Yeah.
It's going to charge so quickly. But yeah, what was I saying? We could have made it to Coffs. We really could have.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
So yes, diesel lover, we will skip your charging stop next time.
We probably still will have macadamia nuts left over.
I do love macadamia nuts. I'm quite keen to try these au naturel ones, just once we get a nutcracker. Even I'm surprised sometimes by my randomness. But this is this is part of the adventure. It's trying different things. It's meeting different people. It's
diesel lovers,
but they sell macadamia, so that's all right.
They do.
So
okay.
Yes. So it is. The car is predicting that we will get to Coffs, Big Banana supercharging location in 1 hour and 8 minutes with 39%. Let's see how we go.
Yep.
Yeah. This always happens. Like we shouldn't have stopped there. We should have just kept going.
But we just discussed that we need.
Yeah, I know. We needed the
bathroom break and a stretch break. But just so people know, it can be done. We stopped for reasons other than needing to stop. If anyone's watching this thinking, oh my God, all these stops, we didn't actually probably need to stop. We could have made it without any issue. We chose to stop.
Yeah, and it would have been, it would have been better to get Coffs like with 10%, because then the car would have taken a little bit longer to charge, which means we could have relaxed a bit more for lunch. But what we will do instead is
Or charge, then move the car.
Or try and have lunch somewhere near the car, so if I've got to get up halfway through lunch and go move the car, then so be it.
So be it.
We will see you in an hour and a bit. So we're just passing the big banana, so I'm guessing maybe the chargers aren't there.
But it said that they... Oh, maybe not. Okay. I thought they were.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
That was the big banana.
I was wrong.
Maybe this isn't a good spot for lunch.
Maybe not.
Well, on the bright side, we don't have to charge for like 5 minutes, and then we can...
Yeah.
Because the next spot, I think, is that really nice winery.
But we didn't actually eat there last
We
time.
didn't, but we could this time.
We could. It's just, I need to... Yes, but we'll...
Yes, we'll see how we go. So, welcome to lovely Coffs Harbour.
Which we thought we were stopping the big banana, but we're not.
I think, okay, it's in that centre because the photos, yes.
Okay.
Okay, in fact, I see a big... Ooh,
Oh, that's the biggest
that's
sign.
the biggest sign we've ever seen.
So I suppose it is near the big banana, but it's not at the big banana.
No, but it is at a shopping centre.
It is at a shopping centre, so we can get out and, you know, stretch legs.
Although we really don't have to charge for very
We
long.
don't, but I do need to find...
A bathroom.
No.
Oh, you're okay.
I don't need to find a bathroom, but I'm... Surprise,
Well, looks
surprise.
like-
Oh,
Quite a lot of cars there. I wonder if
we might have to wait.
we might have to wait.
Although
It's saying four are available, so that's interesting.
Okay.
So
God.
okay, interesting. So the car's saying 4 spots available.
But there is only... Well, because someone's
There's some
parked...
some people that's parked not
without
plugged in.
Damn you!
Bad people.
Tesla people. Parked with not plugged in.
Oh no, they are plugged in.
No, someone else was... Oh, okay, they were. I take it back, not bad Tesla people.
Hey, backing in next to pillars.
This is probably why this one's free.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we only need to charge for 10 minutes here, and yeah. So at the moment, go ahead, plug in. So at the moment, it's saying we only charge you for 10 minutes. If we left now, we would get to Port Macquarie with -3%. Now you'll notice our final destination, instead of 6:18, is now 7:18. But that's because New South Wales and Queensland are on a different time zone, and we lost an hour crossing the border. Oh, yeah, definitely need to get out and stretch it a little bit. I think these are just the 130 kilowatt ones, and we'll be sharing our charge with the really old Model S next to us. Quite cool. It's got like the bean front. That's how you know it's the older ones of the Model S's.
Yeah, we're not charging very quickly.
No. 27.33, so that'll probably get up to 60 something, I hope.
Yeah.
It looks like that's topping out at 32, so as soon as this person next to us leaves, if they leave while we're here. So this is why we skip Coffs Harbour wherever possible, because it looks like this is quite busy, and there's the slower charges. So yeah, let's go find a
We
bathroom.
learned something.
We learned something, absolutely.
All right.
Oh no, up to 60. Geez, that jumped pretty quick.
Someone's
To
unplugged,
65.
maybe?
No. When they unplug, we'll jump up to like 100 or something. Anyway,
Okay.
bathroom, and we will catch you in a bit.
Well, that was quick
That was quick.
and unnecessary, and I apologise for even suggesting it.
No, that's right. No, it was my idea as well in terms of going to Coffs Harbour. So now, bathrooms were used. Yes, we're going to get to Port Macquarie with 22%, even if it drops down to about 20-ish%.
We're good.
We're good. That's fine, because we want to.
Because we want to have lunch.
We want to have lunch there. It's a lovely winery. Hopefully the food's good. We don't know. But actually, what's nice, I just want to show you that it's really cool. You can tap on the charger. It'll show you how many stalls are there. So they're all available.
At the moment.
It is the busier time of day. It is only the 130 kilowatt one, but that's fine because we actually want the car to take longer to charge.
Just a little bit longer. We need to eat.
So we can relax a bit and chill while we're having lunch. So, yep, hour and 35 minutes away. Unplug, please,
Certainly.
and we will be on our way. It's nice that you get a little notification on your phone or on your watch through the app to say that, hey, the car's ready. You can, sort of come and get me. You have enough charge to continue on your journey. So yeah, now it's showing that there's a wait time. And there isn't a wait time because the people next to us have left and we've just unplugged and we've left. So maybe it just takes a while. Maybe it just takes a little bit of a while to
to register.
to register. So that was Coffs Harbour Supercharger.
Yep,
Pretty uneventful.
very uneventful.
Great signage.
Amazing signage. The big Tesla. It's so easy to see.
Yeah.
Right off the streets. You can't miss it, which is unusual for me to say about a Tesla Supercharger. You can't miss it.
Normally they've got those stupid like A4 size
If there's anything.
red signs. Yeah. So
Look, at least on this trip we've noticed more of the signage in malls pointing to where to go. Because previously it's been a little bit like, where's Wally with the superchargers? But this is at the Park Beach Plaza and it's super easy to find.
and all the things you could hope for in a shopping centre. There's
Big W, there's a Target, there's
JB Hi-Fi, there's cafes,
there's cafes, there's a food court.
loads of things.
Yep. There's a Woolworths, which we would have gone to if we'd had more time, or needed to, but we're going to go to Port Macquarie and hope that the winery will be open. Hope that it's got decent food. We will report.
We don't drink that much wine, so that's not going to make much difference to us either way.
No, especially also on a very, a long drive.
We're not ideal to get sloshed. Anywho,
we do love Queensland though.
the lovely town of Coffs Harbour. Is it a town? Is it a city? I suppose it's a city.
Yeah.
Town,
city.
We will pick up again when we get closer to the lovely
Port
Macquarie winery supercharger location and let you know how we've gone. So at the moment, the car is predicting that we will get there with 25%.
Yeah.
On the one hand, I want to say I reckon we'll actually get there closer with 20%. But it seems the car, the longer you do longer drives, the more accurate it gets in predicting how much percentage you should have by the time you get there. So,
Okay.
We will catch you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
We are 3 minutes out from the Port Macquarie supercharger. Do you think it'll show us where it is this time? Because you remember on the way up,
It kind of was like, I don't know.
yeah, it kind of got us like within the half a kilometre, and then went, you find it.
Yeah. I don't see a road here. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, you work it out.
Yeah.
Very uneventful drive. The percentage, I can't remember. It's about accurate, isn't it?
It's about accurate. It hasn't really changed a great deal. I don't remember exactly. It was 2% more than expected.
And you see that apparently 600 wind from the northeast has saved us 0.7%.
Thank you very much, wind.
Yeah. Only started, well, maybe I didn't notice it before, but it looks like it's only just started preconditioning now.
Well, maybe because the battery's pretty close.
Yeah, because
so
the
it doesn't
battery's
need to
pretty
do very
close,
much.
so maybe it's sort of close to that.
It's been kind of drizzling on and off.
Yeah.
Not quite rain, but
just
kind
spitting
of
a bit.
spitting a little bit. But there are blue skies ahead of us, so far so good.
Blue skies ahead. I don't know if that's a song or not.
No, I feel like it should be a song.
like it should
I was
be,
waiting to see where you were to go with that.
Look, again, the the navigation's showing us to get almost there.
Yeah.
I think
Does anyone else have this problem, please? Like, is it just us? It can't just be us.
Well, no, look, it's a light blue.
Because it's kind of go round-ish, I don't know, it's somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's very weird, because it's literally kind of going, don't know.
I really hope the winery's open for lunch, because I'm hungry.
Starving. We didn't really have breakfast either.
No. Although we are in our body clocks at the moment are actually like 1:20, not 2:20.
Yes. It's actually kind of funny though, because daylight saving finishes tonight or tomorrow morning, right? So we only really have one day on this time zone, and then
we're
back to the...
We're basically just going to be all over the place with that.
Yes. So now,
body clocks. So
I
now
think we
come
go round and that way.
Yes, to the left.
Yes. Where it doesn't actually
and then
quite know what we're doing.
This exit here, yes.
It says we're here right this second, but we're
And
not.
now it changes. And so, well, yeah, it thinks we're at the supercharger, which, well, there it is ahead of us.
We're not.
And if we left right now, we would get to Heatherbrae with minus 33%.
Which is physically not possible.
Well, maybe if it was like all downhill the whole way.
I still don't think negative 33%.
Yeah, 2 cars here already.
Yeah.
And we will park in the middle.
It does look like the winery is open, and hopefully it's food we can eat. So it feels as if, even though it knows the supercharger's here, it's registering it down there. So that's why it's kind of like, well, you've reached it.
I wonder some weird thing with Google Maps and I don't know.
Kind of like the weird thing with our house, where our house is not on a corner, but Google Maps believes it is on a corner.
Every Uber, like when we get Uber Eats or anything, they're always trying to deliver it to the roundabout down the road from
Yeah,
us.
and you're like, but no, I see you driving past.
Can you plug us in, please?
I certainly can.
By the way, plugging in a supercharger is ridiculously easy. You get the charger off, you push the button on the cable, it opens the charge port, you plug in, and hey presto. So apparently we will only need to stay here for 20 minutes. We're going to stay here for longer because
We're hungry.
we're hungry, we want to have food. But yeah, we'll probably stay 30 minutes, 40 minutes
Yeah.
maybe, so that the car might get like up to 100% or thereabouts. I might have to come down and move the car quickly.
We don't have to, because the parking here can park here for 60 minutes.
But there'll be idle fees
So
if
you
we're
can
plugged in.
unplug it.
Yeah, and I suppose we'll be right up there so we can see if someone
Yeah.
comes and I can come and move. So we're getting 127, so only 3 kilowatts under the top speed at this charger, which is fine because it means we can charge less at Heatherbrae,
Yeah.
or we charge about the same and then we'll get to Sydney with a little bit
More, 'cause
more
it'd be
and
nice
so
to have
on.
more.
Yeah, although I've checked, there's 2 like on-street chargers near the rocks in Sydney, so we can try those 2. It'll be a Sunday, so they'll probably be taken. And then there's 2 or 4, these are slow chargers in the parking thing right by the Opera House.
Okay.
So we can try those off-road ones first, and then if not, we'll try the parking one. And again, if we can't, we'll supercharge anyway because it's all free because we've got the miles. But we can slow charge while we're walking around downtown Sydney to
Exploring to show.
take Archie around the
Take
sites.
Archie around the sites.
We're going to grab some food and we will catch you in a bit. So what did you think of lunch?
It was lovely. I preferred our baguette
And cold meat that we
meat
had on the
last
way up.
time.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we're not winery people. It's also, we got here at 2:25. Kitchen closes at 2:30. So so you're aware. It's not an extensive menu because I suppose it's more about the wine than the food. So we shared a meal, which was delicious, but it also wasn't medium rare. I did ask for it to be medium rare. It definitely wasn't medium rare.
Oh, it looked quite medium rare to me.
Okay, my part was more
Maybe you
medium.
wanted more rare on the rare side of.
Anyway,
it was nice.
It was nice. It's just heavier than we're used to.
Yeah, it's sitting quite.
I'm very
Sitting.
glad we shared.
Yes, yeah, me too. Archie enjoyed the chips.
Yep.
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 So yeah, we stayed. Well, we're at 100%. So now the car is predicting that we will get to Heatherbrae with 38%, which I think is way more than it said originally. We only need to charge 15 minutes, and then we can get to Zetland with 13%. We'll stay a bit longer in Heatherbrae just so that we've got a bit more juice thing. But can you unplug, please, and we will be on our way.
Can.
And it's funny, the Model Y with the baby Yoda in it that we saw at Coffs is actually sitting next to us, so it looks like they're joining us on this journey.
Okay, yes.
And away we go.
Away we go.
Cool, so 2 hours and 8 minutes to Heatherbrae. We'll probably stop along the way because we'll need to stop.
And yeah, if you get tired, we will switch driving.
Yes.
Um,
But yeah, no, really nice drive. And so far, I'm hopefully not jinxing us, but weather's been pretty good, and we haven't seen any. I mean, it's interesting. Like looking out in some of the land next to us, like you can see it's
There's
flooded.
a lot of water.
It's a lot of water, but the roads so far have held up exceptionally well. Although I understand most, at least from what I was looking at, it looked like most of the rain sort of hit south of Newcastle. And that's sort of like where Heatherbrae. So like once we get to Heatherbrae and then start going through, then we'll, I think, have a better idea of we might hit some
yeah.
flood issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, lovely.
But I'm
lovely
quite
drive.
grateful for the weather today. I'm grateful that we weren't supposed to be driving home yesterday. Because obviously I think if we were supposed to be driving home yesterday, we may have changed our plans.
Yes, yeah. And yesterday was Friday the something of April.
The 5th of April.
Friday the 5th of April, and that was when it was Friday and
The Black Nor'easter.
Black Nor'easter, yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 hours and 6 minutes to go to Heatherbrae. It's predicting we'll get there with 39% now.
That will change slightly, maybe.
You know what? It was pretty darn accurate, getting us here.
That's true. Actually, you're right.
And I guess we'll pick up then
In a bit. Bye.
We are just about to arrive at the Heatherbrae supercharger. It'll be coming up on our right in 400 meters. Actually, I think this is the one. This is the one we stopped at before. That's
Yes.
Yes, it's like back of a motel.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Easy. The one that had a very nice homemade sign.
Yes.
The car was predicting, I think, if I remember correctly, that we were going to get to left.
Yeah. I'm just trying to miss one of the many potholes. I tried.
You didn't miss that one.
I missed another one though. I swear I missed another one.
So the car, I think, was predicting that we'd get here with 38%. We've actually gotten here with 39%. Very disappointing that even though this isn't Heatherbrae, it's not by the Heatherbrae pie shop. And I think it'll just be a pretty quick. So it is predicting that we should need about 15 minutes. If we left now, we would get to Sydney with minus 15%.
Which is again not physically possible.
Yeah, but it's always... Oh, stop. Wait. We'll let the car park us. See, it was fine. Did a perfect job. Okay, put her into park. Push the button, Max. I will get out and plug us in.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my legs. Oh. Okay. You remember how I said it did a good job?
It didn't?
We need to go back just a little bit more.
Okay.
So I will close
Thanks.
the door.
Thanks. Not particularly fast yet, but we're
We're not in a hurry.
rapid.
There we go. 47, 68, 84, 105, 113, 130, 132. Okay, so 250. I think this is 130. I guess this is 130, and it's 2% difference either way. We'll cut the difference. So apparently we only need to stay here for 10 minutes. If we left right now, we'd get there with minus 6%, but we might stay a little bit longer than 2 minutes just because, well, we all need to go to the bathroom, I'm guessing. And
Well, I do, and Archie wants to look for
yes, the chocolate.
Feastables, whatever
Yes,
they're called.
they might have it. Okay, cool. Well, we
Alrighty.
will go to the bathroom and pick up in probably about 15 minutes.
Yeah, look, I'm at 15 minutes is fine. Look, we're going to get in there. It's predicting at the moment 7:30. Bearing in mind that
7:45, I'm not going to make it. Oh, it's the people with the... Don't park next to us. You'll slow us down. Oh, you silly people. They don't know. Okay, actually, well, yeah, so as soon as they plug in,
we're gonna.
our charging will slow down. How about...
Well, I was gonna say because I wouldn't. Originally, we were gonna be arriving at 6:30, but then of course that wasn't taking into account
So it
the
was
time difference.
Yeah, so
So we're still much on track.
7:29. It's taken a minute off now.
Okay.
But it doesn't know these people are parking next to us to slow us down. Look, you know
Okay.
what? Let's just... Oh, wait, are they moving? Ah! I think maybe the wife said,
Why are you parking next to people?
yeah, when there's plenty of space. Cool, okay.
Alrighty, bathroom and chocolate break.
Well, it's already dropped to, we only need 5 minutes here, but yeah, 10 minutes and then we'll get there with more percent and all that
going.
good stuff. Cool.
Alrighty.
See you in a bit.
See ya.
He's just unplugged us and I'm just going to see, now someone's coming in. This is going to complicate things. But I'm just going to move one spot. I'm going to let them get in wherever they need to go. No, they're going to... Nuts!
Want to plug back in? Or
Yeah, plug back in. See, the someone's plugged in next to us, so our charging rate, got cut in half.
To get in?
I was, but it's
Oh,
okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
Just drive. Sorry.
Well, no, because I saw them coming, and so I thought, well. So they've done the clever thing, and they're one spot away, but they went one more spot away than we could have. I was curious to see if the 2-spot thing, if like at 83%, it's really, like we're really not going to get that much anyway. But I was just curious to see if it would charge complete. Sort of. Hang on, let's just do that, and let's see. And that's going to kick. And this is not a high usage thing. Stop it. Starting to charge.
No. Yep. Yeah.
Might have to unplug or plug back in.
Come on.
There we go. So I'm just, every now and again, it's a bit odd, but every now and again, if you just unplug and plug back in, it plugs back in and it charges faster. I was kind of curious to see if we moved across. I mean, at 83%, there we go. So we're getting quite a lot more than we would.
It'll drop quickly, I reckon.
Yeah, but no, so we were getting like 65, 60, and now we're getting 102, 101. But yeah, it's gonna drop off real quick. Yeah. So we'll probably sit here for another 5 minutes or so, because at the moment, it's predicting we'll get to Sydney with 36%. And I reckon if we
quite late, I'm hungry.
Do you want to go now?
No, 5 minutes is not gonna make a difference.
5 minutes is not gonna make a difference.
And I do have muesli bars, so I can avoid getting hangry, because Lee has learnt over the years.
Yes. When Mandy says, I need to eat. So let us tell you a story. Do you want to start?
So we were on honeymoon, actually.
Yep, we're on a honeymoon.
We were in, was it Barcelona? Or
Barcelona? No, Barcelona.
Or were we in Toledo?
No, we're in Barcelona.
Barcelona?
First day.
I thought we were in Toledo at this
No,
point.
first day in Barcelona.
Okay. So we're wandering around, we're exploring, and we're meandering. And I say to Lee, I think we should get some lunch. And he goes, yeah. And he keeps walking.
Because to my mind, if you say, we should get some food, to me that means, we're really enjoying exploring the city. And if you happen to see somewhere nice to eat, we'll stop and eat. What Mandy meant was,
I'm hungry, feed me.
Feed me now or I'll kill you. So I've learnt now when Mandy says she's hungry, that doesn't mean when we come across some food, we'll stop to eat. It means
Let's find food. So yes, it's a lesson that Lee learned 14 years ago, almost.
Yes, and I've held it dear ever since. By the way, I've done this on a few. This is an affiliate link, so I've got a discount code. These glasses really cool. The reason why is during my day job, I run a video production company, so very often on set I've got to have headphones cans on the whole day, and the fact that these are so thin makes it so that they don't break the seal, but also they're super comfortable. Best thing about these is,
and I was really jealous of that while I was driving this last bit, because the sun kept going like behind mountains or behind clouds. I'd be like, it's too dark, give me my glasses. All right, now it's bright, I need my sunglasses. I was so jealous.
Not cheap, made in Texas, I think. So I had them shipped over, and then I had, so they're flyingeyeoptics.com. There's a discount code on my website, notacarguy.io. All the discount codes, those discount codes, they are affiliate links, so I do get a little bit of commission if there's any sales. But if you're interested in these, they're exceptionally cool. They make just normal sunglasses if you're lucky and you don't need glasses, but I do. And so I think in the US you can get them with, it thinks your profile, quick. Back to my seating profile. You can get them. You can get them with your prescription, but because of Australian American communication or whatever it was, I couldn't get them with my prescription, so I just got them shipped over, and then got my prescription put in over here by my optometrist, so that was sort of easy enough to do. But yeah, I love these ones. Also, they're super light, which was actually a bad thing at one point, because I was on a job in New Zealand a year and a bit ago, and we were shooting whales. Not shooting whales, we were filming whales.
Yes.
Funny story. So
God.
No, this is a good one.
Okay.
Our friend Chris, he at one point he was a wedding photographer, and that was his full-time thing. He shot weddings, and when they moved to a new house, the neighbor was talking to their son, who would have been like 4 or 5 at the time, and said, "Oh, what does your dad do?" He said, "Oh, he goes to people's weddings and he shoots them, and then he takes their photo." So yes, when I say I'm shooting stuff, I mean I'm filming it.
Yes.
So we're filming whales, and I was constantly worried that because the glasses are so light, that when I was looking over the side of the boat, they were going to fall off. So now I've got the little rope thing on the side, and I look really
daggy.
Well, it's practical.
Daggy.
Now this
is not practical.
So it's 3 lanes to cut across here. Let me just turn this on. So it's 3 lanes. Okay, he just did it. You know what? So there's no one coming that way, so we're okay from here. And then I can zip in here.
And zip.
You know what? That actually wasn't...
It just looked intimidating and impractical.
That wasn't nearly as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. This is one of the other nice things about having an electric car is...
It's got...
Yeah, when you need to zip, you can zip. So that's really cool. So we will be in Sydney in 1 hour and 57 minutes. The car's predicting at the moment that we will get there with 41%.
We may stop and get food on the way.
We may, because I value my life. Okay, may means
we may. It might be fine. We do still have lots of snacks in the car, but I'm also aware of child.
Yes.
Who may say that he's eaten 2 burgers for dinner, but they were lolly burgers. So I don't trust him.
Well, he clearly doesn't trust us, because he was like, "Have you put meat in this?"
I don't think there's any meat in this. No.
No, it's a candy burger.
It's candy. It's just candy.
So yeah, so that is the sit rep, as it were. It's been a long week and a bit. It really has. Oh, and I haven't taken this cable out, so this whole time...
You've just seen a cable across there. Sorry, I didn't even know you plugged it in.
Yeah, I didn't.
We are so over this.
I'm a professional.
Can we just click our fingers and be at home?
Oh, that would be... So the Baby Yoda Tesla Model Y that we've noticed at every stop. We finally chatted to the people, lovely folks. They're on their way to Sydney for a holiday.
Yeah.
Interestingly, they were saying that they were going to do another stop.
Well, they might be staying elsewhere.
Yeah, although, because I mean, we're staying like on the south side of Sydney, so we've got to get across Sydney sort of thing to get where we're going. But also, it might be that they're doing shorter stops and more of them.
Yes. Rather
than we are doing longer stops than we need to with the car.
But we always do.
Yeah.
And I guess it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? It's.
But I think you could easily do this with 3 stops.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
I mean, we really didn't need to stop at Coffs Harbour.
Yeah, most of the stops are for us rather than for the car.
And we thought that Coffs Harbour would be a nicer stop. And in hindsight, I probably would have liked to have stopped when we stopped at Coffs Harbour, actually gone and bought some stuff at Coles or Woolies or whatever.
Yeah.
And stopped there a little bit longer, and then if we'd even stopped at Port Macquarie, just had our own little meal. But again, it balances out. I think you end up with the same amount of time. It just depends if you want to have longer breaks.
And you live and you learn.
And that's it, if you live and you learn. But it just depends if you want to have longer breaks, or if you want to just kind of do the car says I'm ready to go, let's go. Yeah.
It's one of I need to respond. I put a video out last night, and it's already gotten quite a few comments. Thank you very much. And I just, we've been driving, so I haven't had time to respond. But it was interesting. One of the comments, and I actually think it was on a different video, but one of the comments was from a gentleman who said, he was thinking of getting an EV, but after reading this, I don't think it's for me, because when I drive from Melbourne to Sydney, I only stop in Gundagai for 1 stop, and unless the car can do 1,000 kilometers, it's not going to work for me. And I think I speak for the vast majority of people. I have some thoughts. Here comes my response to that.
Oh my God. Okay.
No. I'll be diplomatic. Number one, I can't say, I don't think you think, you may speak for the vast majority of people who drive between Melbourne and Sydney, but most people don't drive between Melbourne and Sydney. In fact, we were just saying to the couple that we were chatting to in the Model Y, because when we said, we're driving back to Melbourne, she was like, oh, that's a trip. And we're like, yeah, glad to do it. Glad we've done it. It was a good experience. I think next time we'll fly.
I think maybe.
I think I'm going.
Oh, I don't know.
I think I'm going
you're in the
right.
lane.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
going
you're
right. And so, first of all, not that many people drive between
The long distances.
the long distances. Also, look, if you're comfortable driving like
5 hours, 4 hours.
4 hours without a break, good for you. I don't think that's particularly safe. Also, the older I get, the smaller my bladder gets.
But it's also, I think it's a different, like, you know, if you're driving, right, and you're driving, it's just for you, and you do this on a regular basis, and you're happy to go. Awesome. But a lot of times people will do it with families, and you kind of do need a bit of a stretch your legs break, regardless, right?
Also, I'm going to hazard a guess and say this gentleman might go a little bit over the speed limit.
Possibly. But I think with all situations, right, anyone using their own personal circumstances and saying, I speak for the vast majority of people.
Yeah, none of us can say that.
None of us can say that. And if that's your personal use case, that you drive Melbourne to Sydney and you do one stop and you do it on a regular basis, and then EV is not for you, right?
Yeah.
EV is probably not for you.
And the thing, it's not for everybody.
It's not.
But I think it is for most people.
And that's
The vast majority. Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. I was trying to be diplomatic.
And I was just being snarky. I apologize.
It's fine. But yeah, I actually think for the vast majority of people, once they get their head around the difference, and it's not even about bigger difference, when they think about the way that they drive and their everyday experience of zipping around the city or, you know, driving to work and those kind of things, an EV makes sense and is easy and is not actually a difficult situation. And for those once or twice a year when you do a big drive, it's actually, this has been so painless. And yes, we've probably stopped a few more times than we've needed to, but it's not, we haven't been in a rush.
And that's the way we drive. Like, it's funny, I was thinking as we were driving this morning, I was thinking, like, I'm always looking for spots to pull over so we can get some drone footage of the car and put some cameras on the outside of the car and get them. And we haven't done any of that on this trip because, quite frankly, we just want to get where we're going to. And I was actually thinking that what I'd like to do at some point, like if we're going to Wangaratta for a weekend or something like that, it'd be nicer to go somewhere where we're not, if we pull over for half an hour just to muck around with the camera and stuff.
It's not going to affect the whole day of driving.
Yeah, and also it doesn't, like, somewhere where it's only 3 hours to get to, so if it takes us 5 hours to get there, and again, we may not be the vast majority of people, and other people may not be like us, that where they are, look, I just want to get there.
But you can still do that, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing, is you can still, if you want to just get there, you can just get there. We have stopped more than we needed to, and we generally stop for longer, but that's just because of the way we like to travel. But it doesn't mean that that's the only way to do it.
And another one of the comments was, so this is just a standard rear wheel drive Model Y. Someone commented that when they do the Melbourne to Sydney thing in their long range Model Y, which has only got like, I think like 80 or 100, he's entertained by something. I think it's only got like 80 or 100 Ks more range than this car. They can do it in 2 stops quite easily. Yeah, so.
Which is brilliant. I would never try to say to someone that, you know, a certain brand of car, a certain kind of car, or a certain anything is not, I don't know.
Yeah, if it doesn't work for you, that's cool. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think the biggest, well, the 2 biggest challenges for getting more people into electric cars, number one is the price.
Yep.
They're too bloody expensive.
Yeah, even with drops in prices, it's still very expensive.
Although now, I mean, like, look, now, like, you can get into an Aura, an MG4, like, sort of between 35 and 38,000.
Great.
Yeah, so it's there are
options out
there which are a lot more affordable than the upper range models. And the other one, which is sort of the whole purpose of this whole YouTube channel, is education.
Yep.
Yes, education.
Yes, but that's it. Like, it's there's a whole thing of range anxiety. There's a whole thing. I mean, range anxiety seems to be biggest thing, and the infrastructure. And that's the point of these things, is that it's doable. It's totally doable. It's easy. It's actually not stressful, except when we're following the maps and talking, and we don't have that talking thing on. So that's our ramble.
Yeah. And again, it is more challenging in a non-Tesla.
Yeah.
I will admit, because you don't have as many charges available to you, but that also is getting better. In fact, Broadbeach, where I topped up the car last night, they actually have two EV chargers.
80.
Yes, they have two EV chargers next to the Tesla superchargers.
Okay.
Which is nice.
And the thing is also, with Tesla superchargers opening up to non-Tesla.
Watch, this guy's going to try and overtake him. Give me a piece of his mind.
With Tesla chargers being open to non-Tesla cars, even though it's expensive, like the supercharging expensive, it does make it a bit easier as well.
And when we say expensive, so I think Tesla superchargers for Tesla drivers are 70 cents per kilowatt. And then for non-Tesla drivers, they are 80 cents per kilowatt. Okay. But you can also, if you do a lot of supercharging with a non-Tesla car, I think there's like a membership or something you can sign up for.
Like $10 a membership times.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Anywho,
that's our rent for the drive.
Yeah, efficiency's gotten better. Now it's predicting we're going to get there with 44%. That will
change.
Drop. We will see you in Sydney for a proper summation, maybe.
Maybe. Bye.
Welcome back. We have had an absolutely lovely extra day stop in Sydney.
Sydney really turned on the weather for us.
It really did. It was beautiful. It was sunny. It wasn't too hot. There was a nice breeze. Archie got to see the Opera House, and he got to see the bridge, which was his too. He literally, like we were singing out, he went tick tick. Archie, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All of us got to run around with cameras for a bit, which was always a fun family thing, for our family at least.
For our family.
We got to catch up with some friends, which was amazing. We'll yatter on about it. It was a bit. I got faced with my mortality. Because we're in Circular Quay, and Mandy's like, "Oh, I need to find a place to eat." And I'm like, because I used to live in Sydney. And I say to Mandy, if we go like a block up from Circular Quay, there's a food court up there. Or at least there was 24 years ago when I lived here. I was like, 24 years ago, yikes. I'm just going to pull over, because I just want to get my sunglasses out.
Oh, okay.
And because the sun's out, which is nice.
Yes.
And so we're on our way home, as you may have guessed. The car is saying that we should drive to Exeter, which we should get to Exeter in
an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. And we will get there with 26%, charge there for 30 minutes, which is fine. It's time to stretch our legs. Then Gundagai, Holbrook, and Euroa. I think we're going to skip Holbrook if we can.
I think we will.
And go to Aubury instead.
Because we'll end up charging for a bit longer, possibly both of them. But anyway, and I'm looking forward to a pie at Exeter.
Yes, the pies at Exeter. They've got is it Heatherbrae?
Heatherbrae's pies.
Heatherbrae's so good.
I'm looking forward to trying one of the savoury pies.
Yeah, for breakfast?
For breakfast, yes.
Okay, no, nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it is $6.52.
For our non-American...
Well, our non-Australian Kiwi...
Yeah, non-Australian Kiwi viewers, because I know in America generally a pie is only a sweet thing.
Yeah.
Here in Australia, in New Zealand, is it a South African thing as well? I think it is.
Possibly, yeah. British colonies.
British colonies, except for Canada, because Canadians, we love Canadians.
We love Canadians.
But they don't do pies like we do.
No.
We have savoury pies, so you'll have meat pies, you'll have vegetarian pies. But
chicken?
Generally, it's generally they're meat pies.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's Heatherbrae. Now, in terms of charge, we realised Mandy was just saying we didn't do a summation when we got to Sydney. So because
it was late, it was like very late. We ended up stopping to do some stopping for dinner. Then we stopped. We got some groceries. We caught up with
Cousin of mine.
cousin of Lee's, and by the time we got to the Airbnb, it was like 8:30, 9:15.
Yeah, we were long day,
and it was dark. So the GoPros would have picked up absolutely zero.
Yeah, it would have been radio.
Shadows.
Would have been radio.
Yeah.
But to give you a summation of that, we did stop at our favourite Japanese restaurant.
We did.
In Sydney. And we did have there was a charging spot open, which was great.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. So that was nice. So we got there. I think we got there with about 40%.
Something like that.
Yeah, we got there with about 40% in the battery, and we were there long enough to have dinner, and then for Archie and us to have a little bit of frozen yogurt. And so we were there, like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours? Maybe
time
not that
is
long.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
We were there for a period of time, but the car was up to 55%?
58. I want to say 58%.
58%. I mean, look, it doesn't make a difference, but again, like we always say, we don't stop to charge, we charge while we're stopped. So if you can charge while you're stopped, why not? And that's, it's quite a nice setup because they've got, I think, 4 or 5 chargers there.
Yes,
and they're
like
all
that.
Yeah, and they're all slow chargers, which is perfectly fine because you don't.
You're shopping, right?
Yeah, you're shopping, you're having dinner, you don't want to be in a rush.
Yeah.
And
although I have to say it's quite funny, 2 of the spots are nominated for small cars only because they are right by the entrance or exit.
So like between pillars sort of thing.
And I was quite impressed at the 2
Model Ys
that managed to fit themselves into those small cars only spots.
Yeah.
Very well driven.
That is where the summon feature can come in very handy. So in case I haven't discussed it yet, the summon feature is where if you've got the key fob or you do it with the app, where you can make the car move forwards or backwards without anyone in the car. So if you're trying to get in or out of a really tight parking spot,
that can be really helpful.
You can get the car in and out of a really tight parking spot without actually getting the car in or out of, without you being in the car and having to climb out a window or something weird.
Yeah.
So we charged up there. Then yesterday morning, we went down to Circular Quay. For those who aren't familiar with Sydney, that's like very much a very touristy area where the Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Very convenient for Sydney to have both of those in the same place, so you don't have to, go too far to see the main tourist sites.
Yeah.
And that's where the cruise ships come in as well. Very cleverly set up.
Yep.
And in the parking area, right by like the Sydney Opera House parking centre, whatever you want to call it, there are actually 2 free charges, which are great, except we got there and they were both taken, which...
But I almost feel like 2, for the Opera House, 2 is not enough.
Yeah.
Because the number of electric cars, first of all, that we just saw parked in the Opera House car park, and then the number of electric cars that we saw on the roads.
Yeah.
They could have 4, 5, 6 of those charges, and those spots would be taken, I reckon, every single time.
Lots of Polestar 2s, actually.
Lots of them, which was really, really interesting.
We're going straight here.
Yes, we are.
And also, it's a little bit scary going, because it's one of those parts, it's a spiral downwards underground, and you're like, at what point do we start going up to get out? But no, there's a little, you go left and it's fine.
And then you spiral all the way back up.
Tesla taxi.
Ah, cool.
Cool. Well done, Sydney.
Yeah. So that was... So we didn't get a chance to charge while we were there, and it was eating Lee up because we spent a fair bit of time on Circular Quay. We took lots of photos. We did a whole lot of stuff. And he's like, the car's just sitting there.
Yeah, we could be charging this whole time. And interesting, so we went as far as the Rocks, which is like a little shopping district. Again, it's probably just my imagination, but I feel closed in when I'm driving in Sydney. Like, this ute is like
right next
really
to us.
Close.
Yeah. I feel like I could reach over and pass him something.
Ad for the MG4.
Very nice.
39,000, just under 40,000 for the MG4. Nice.
Nice. That's affordable. Oh,
yeah.
Accessible, more accessible.
So, yeah, so we got as far as the Rocks, which is like a little shopping district.
Before I actually lost the will to live.
Well, he didn't lose the will to live. He just was like, I'm bored. Like, he did well.
I'm hot, I'm bored, which is fair, right?
It was hot.
Yeah.
I won't say it was boring, but it was hot.
Yeah. I managed to shop for myself, which was really cool.
Yeah,
Alright, where am I filming?
That way. The airport's that way. Yeah, as we get up here, Archie, you should be able to see some of the airport now as we get up here. As we get past here.
So he's paying attention.
Okay. So we got as far as the rocks, and I'd done a little look through on PlugShare, and it's actually pretty cool. So there's two areas in the rocks where there's a charge port, just like on street parking. So, you know, anyone can sort of drive up, park there. It's 2-hour parking, so you can get... Yeah, that's clever. It's limited to 2 hours, so no one's going to hog it for more than 2 hours. But while you're shopping or you're having dinner or something, you just park the car on the side of the road as you normally would and charge the car up. And both spots were free when we were there. I was like, oh, we could have parked there. Yeah, so... Well done, Sydney CBD. There's some interesting charging locations. We were going to go originally we were going to park at the convention centre and then walk across, because the convention centre has got
like a whole bank of parking.
a whole bank of charge. Like last time we were in Sydney, it was amazing. Like we got there and it's just like, I mean, there'd be 12 or 14.
But I reckon that the Opera House Park could do the same thing.
Yeah.
Quite easily, and not worry about them being. I mean, if that might get
It's just filmed now.
iced or not, but.
Yeah, so we went to Broadwater to top up the battery. Again, it was supercharging, so it was free because we've got all the supercharging miles. And the timing worked out really well because, you know, we just had to go to the farmers because unfortunately Archie, he went down a slide at Waterworld, wherever, and another kid, no, it was at the hotel. He went down a slide and a kid came down behind him a little bit too quickly and bumped into his finger, so his finger's a little bit bruised, so we just need to get some bandages and stuff, and I had to get lunch. Oh, we've got the donuts.
We do.
I forgot. There was a place there that did Mochi donuts. I have no idea what they're going to be like, but...
Which, can I just say, Lee bought saying, oh, we'll give these to friends of ours.
Yeah, I'm a bad person.
And, sorry, Chris,
yeah,
you didn't get the Mochi donuts, but you did get chocolates.
Yeah, we did bring chocolates. But yeah,
yeah.
I did that whole, because, I mean, like, it's either, like, one for $6 or 6 for $23 or something. So I was like, look, it doesn't make sense just to
get one.
So, and they had multiple flavors.
So we got multiple flavors.
And I thought I'll take 1 or 2 to try, and then we'll give the other 4 to the people we were visiting. And then it turned into too complicated, and we'll just keep them.
Yeah.
And we gave them chocolates. So we did.
We didn't turn up empty-handed, but Chris, you never got the Mochi donuts.
But I can tell you where to get them. And we'll let you know if they're any good. So, yes. In terms of the actual driving and stuff like that, so yeah, I mean, if you've watched this far, you know how this all works.
Please don't explain.
No, I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to explain it again. No, I might actually pre-record that and just have it ready on my hard drive and fill it in.
I don't know if I can listen to that again. I love you.
Okay, can you just pull that down so we can show the lovely people what the car is saying? I think we showed it. Yep. So, and then flick up. So
Exeter, Gundagai, Holbrook, and Euroa. Although it's interesting, at the moment it's saying we would need 15 minutes, half an hour at Exeter, which is fine. 15 minutes at Gundagai and 45 minutes at Holbrook. I can't actually think of anything worse than sitting there for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
No offense, Holbrook, but
the charging location in Holbrook is basically next to an RSL, like a bowls club. There's very little, like you've got to walk at least 2 blocks, 2.5 blocks to get to the like main strip. So in terms of facilities and things like that, interesting enough, last night when I looked at this, it wasn't saying Holbrook, it was saying Aubury.
Okay.
So
do Aubury.
And Aubury's, I haven't been to the Aubury superchargers yet. They're the new version 4s.
Okay.
So they're fast and they're in a mall.
Okay.
So that's right. I love it when you're under a tunnel for too long. It tells you, poor GPS. Look, this is so funny. We were in a tunnel on the way in where like we were between 2 roads on the map because it was clearly like just...
And it kept on kind of going, take an exit, wait, that, and we were like, but what
there is no exit.
It doesn't exist.
So I don't know what it is, but maybe Tesla needs to have a word with Sydney and work out
how to get this, because in Sydney you've got so many tunnels, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like it's a one-off. You go under tunnels after tunnels. I mean, okay, this is a particularly long tunnel.
Sydney loves their long tunnels. Also, Sydney driving seems to be a contact sport. Like,
oh my God.
I always joke that the left-hand lane is for tourists and the weak. But it's like, don't, like, if you need to get we love all you people in Sydney, but you're very aggressive drivers.
I have to say, yesterday when we were driving, I watched a guy turning left, and there was someone walking in the pedestrian crossing, so he stopped, which is the right thing to do, right?
And the orange ute.
But the orange ute behind him was like right up. Like, I swear that guy could have bought him dinner.
Yeah, well, at the very least, he should have bought him dinner. He was that, yeah.
Jeez.
Can you bring it back up just to make sure that I can see where we're going? I think we're okay. Okay, so we just keep going towards Liverpool.
We're currently in the middle of nothing.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's like, so it thinks we're on the road, but I'm guessing there isn't a road above us. So
Well, there isn't. We're just driving through buildings. We are super Tesla.
Yeah. We're in the ball company. What was it that Elon did in Las Vegas?
Oh God, I don't even.
He thinks we're in there.
Yeah.
So in the end, what we ended up doing yesterday in terms of charge rate, we only charged up to 90% because when we plugged into Broadbeach, it said it was one of those busy places you can only charge up to 80. Yeah, I can see. He'll know I'm a tourist because I'm letting him in.
Yes, we still want to be.
Yeah, so we only got up to 90%, and then from driving around, visiting our friends, and having dinner with friends, all that kind of stuff. When we got into the car this morning, we were only actually, you know what, we don't have to. We were down to 76%,
Something like that.
something like that. And that's the thing. Like, even if we didn't charge yesterday, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like we would have been down to like 45% or something like that.
Which means we would have had an extra stop.
Yeah, so we would have had to stop in Camberwell. Or something like
Campbellfield?
Campbelltown, I think.
Campbelltown.
Well, that's ironic. We just overtook this truck and now he's overtaking us. Okay, sorry for driving to the speed limit.
How dare you?
Do truck drivers just like get a lot of tickets, or do the cops just go, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, because a lot of trucks are. If there's a truck driver watching, let us know. And so, yes, so we would have had an extra, but yeah, I really, it was handy. We needed to stop anyway to get some strapping for Archie's finger, and to get chocolates for people we were visiting, and
then to get
donuts for us that we will eat along the way. We will try and do this on camera.
Yeah.
Actually,
you will eat them because I don't like mochi.
Well, actually, we have to eat them while we're on this trip because it's only while we're on the trip that
we're allowed to eat.
that the calories don't count.
I can tell you for sure that the calories have counted on this trip.
As soon as we walk in the front door of our house, the calories suddenly pile on. Yeah, but for now, while we're in the car, we're fine.
It's actually quite funny is that I'm so craving like
healthy
salad and fresh veggies and stuff. It's been a great holiday, but I am kind of looking forward to getting my eating back to normal.
Right, so an hour and 10 minutes to Exeter. The car's predicting we'll get there with 29%. We'll see how we go. We'll anything else to add?
Nope.
No, we will catch you in a bit. Just under 1.8 kilometers away from the first charging stop in Exeter. It's interesting, I suddenly had this thing of, like normally when I do this drive, I go a bit further and I stop in Goulburn, but I actually prefer, I think now that we know that Exeter's there and we know that Heatherbrae Pie is there, we definitely prefer stopping here rather than going that little bit further to Goulburn, and then you need to charge a little bit more here to get us to Gundagai. And also there's a nice sort of, there's almost like there's a conglomeration of things here. You know, there's a petrol station to clean the windshield, which we definitely need to do.
It's filthy. There have been a number of bugs that have sacrificed themselves.
Yeah.
Interesting, when we left the Airbnb, it was saying we get here with 29%. We went up at one point to 33% because we were stuck behind some trucks and there was a bit of traffic. 30% now, so pretty much same.
Yeah, and the car started preconditioning about 12 minutes out.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll charge up. Looks like that white Model Y that we've been following for a while, looks like they need to clean their windshield as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah, or they've gotten confused.
Yep, I think they've gotten confused. Maybe this is their first time.
Yep.
It can be confusing.
Yeah.
There is lovely Heatherbrae pies, and it's 8:18, so hopefully they're open.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And I see people sitting outside, so that's a
Yep,
fairly
open
good sign.
6 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, just so you know.
So they clearly they know that, you know, this is their demographic of travellers.
Yep.
So let's just pull up over at the end here.
Yep.
So we give people as much option as possible to share the charge.
Share the load.
Hopefully by opening the doors we'll be able to get this bug out of here.
Yes.
Ooh, the auto parking came on for a second there. See, the auto parking, it'd be really nice if it...
Do you know what? This would actually be really nice if there was a button.
Yeah, or even just a button in the menu. Like,
Just
we don't
say,
need a physical
turn it
button.
on.
Yeah.
Because it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So plug in, please, and we will have a look at...
certainly will.
Push the button, Max. That's from one of my favourite movies. I think it's called The Great Race, with Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, Peter Falk, and Jack Lemmon plays like the villain, and his sidekick is played by Peter Falk. He's like a mad inventor, and he invents these things, and so it's always like push. Then Peter Falk's character is played by is called Max, and he's push the button, Max, and he pushes the button, and something goes horribly wrong for the villain, which is always quite funny. So if you haven't seen it, look it up. It's quite a cool movie. I think it's called The Great Race. So we're preconditioning. We should, I think these are 130s, I'm guessing. Yes, so these are 130. So we should, with 30% battery, we should get up to 130.
You should.
Close to thereabouts.
110, 124.
124, yeah. So no, we're gonna. Oh, 137.
Ooh.
And
150.
150. Okay, these must be faster ones.
160.
Nice. 150. Okay, so we topped out at 160. The car can manage up to 170. If you've got an all-wheel drive, I think they do like 250 or something crazy.
Yeah.
So the long range and the performance models do there. Says we need to be here for 20 minutes. We'll always be here a bit longer because we always end up being a bit longer.
We might not be here longer actually, but because 20 minutes is actually a fair amount of time, so we'll do stretching legs, we'll get some food, do a bathroom break if required, and it's glorious weather.
Yes, lovely weather. We will catch up in a bit. So for our foreign viewers, this is what a savoury pie looks like. Thankfully, I've been outside to grab a camera for this, so it's had time to cool because they're normally quite hot. Very traditional to have it with the tomato sauce, and you squish this to put a bit of tomato sauce on there and try not to burn the roof of your mouth with the first bite. Warm. That's what it looks like. I went with the steak mince. I normally prefer chunky steak or steak and pepper, but I couldn't see one up there. Probably called something else. Pepper steak, yeah. So that is what a savoury steak mince pie looks like. It is delicious, even at 8:30 in the morning. And we'll, Archie's having a very healthy breakfast as well.
I had breakfast.
And Mandy got a...
Mandy got a quiche.
Yeah.
Also,
Which-
I had previously had breakfast.
Archie, you've already had breakfast?
Second breakfast.
Cool. And, there you go. That's a pie. So, quick little side tip. If you want to clean the screen, go into display, and there's a cleaning mode, which locks the screen, which means you can then...
But you know what's ironic about it? You have to hold to exit.
Yes, well, this is the silliness of touch screens, is you have to touch it to exit. But I always like touch it with the tiniest littlest of edges of my pinky. So there's as little damage done as possible. Yeah, we charged way more than we needed to. We're going to get to Gundagai with plenty of things. The stop in Gundagai actually probably won't be that long.
No.
So we'll probably end up having lunch in Aubury, I think.
Probably,
Yeah. Yeah, pretty easy. So we're going to unplug. And we'll also just stop in the petrol station here to clean the windshield, because, yeah, windshield needs a good clean. But, yeah, otherwise, we're all good.
And if by any chance the gentleman I was chatting to earlier about electric cars, is watching. I don't know how you would be, but maybe you are. Lovely to chat to you. It's nice to see people thinking about the grandkids and saving up for their first electric car.
I've been a little disappointed that, like, I've only been recognised. This is going to sound very egotistical, but I am. I've only been recognised once. Oh, one of the new Model 3s, I think.
Oh.
I've only been recognised once when this whole trip, and so if you do happen to recognise me at a charging station or what have you, please come up and say hello. I love chatting to people who watch the channel. Yeah, so just in case anyone saw me on this trip and went, oh, is that, and then you thought, no, we're not going to bother him, bother me.
Yes, please bother him.
Yeah, I just end up charging for longer, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So
You're going to look weird at the petrol station.
Well, again, this person's going to think, you're in New South Wales and you're letting someone in, what's wrong with you? And I'll go all the way on the outside, so I'm not blocking anyone.
Yep. Clean the windscreen, and then we need to
and we will be
keep
on our
going.
way.
We did also pick up some takeaway pies from Heatherbrae's.
Hopefully they stay frozen in the cooler pack that we've
We
got.
have a 4-pack of pepper steak, and so hopefully they stay frozen. That might be our dinner tonight. And a little bit of a long form souvenir, which we will eat with salad, which I am planning to do a grocery delivery to coincide with us arriving home tonight. Because the last thing I want to feel like doing is going grocery shopping after all this driving.
Okay, so 2 hours and 16 minutes to Gundagai. We will theoretically get there with 33%. I think the car's probably been quite accurate.
It really has. Today it's been fairly accurate.
Yeah.
I'm quite impressed.
It's probably going to be quite confusing when we get back to Melbourne and we're doing city driving. It's
Yeah.
like going to be hugely...
It's like, what? You're only driving 5 kilometres? What are you doing?
Yeah. So yeah, we will catch you in about 2 hours and 10 minutes when we are headed into Gundagai.
See you soon.
We are about 3 minutes away from Gundagai. I think the car's actually been, it said 28%, and
It's been 28%.
I think we're actually going to get there with 28%. It's rare that it's this accurate.
I know, maybe it's like kind of finally, after all the driving, gotten so accurate and it's so confused.
Yeah, just drive 3,000 kilometers and the car...
Accuracy will improve.
Yeah. Efficiency's not been great.
Yeah.
In fact, a 10.2 kilometer wind.
From the west coast, cost 9. It says 7.9% on this trip.
Interesting. So the headwind's been heady. Now, always need to slow down because you turn right, so we're turning across the traffic, and I very often come in a bit hot. Bless you, Archie.
I'm glad you said that, so I didn't have to.
Yes. So I know to slow down here. Now, the weather, it definitely seems to be
Turning.
We passed the wind farm, which was really cool because half the turbines were like in the fog, in the clouds, and it looked really cool. Just while we're pulling in here, I just want to say really quickly something about the glass roof of the Model Y. I don't really notice it that often because, you know, I'm driving, so I'm not looking up that much.
And neither of us are very tall, so we don't really...
So we don't really notice it. But Archie has commented a couple of times while we've been driving about how he'll be looking through the glass, like he'll be noticing shapes and clouds and stuff. Like he'll say, oh, look at that cloud that looks like
an elephant
or things like that. And then last night we were driving through Centennial Park, I think it's called, in Sydney.
Yeah.
And there's loads of bats flying around, and he was watching and counting the bats flying around through the glass roof. So even though as a driver or a passenger in the front seat you're not really going to notice or get the advantage of the glass roof that often, it's actually a really cool thing. And like, you know, I mean, quote unquote, there's a use to it. It's not just, you know,
now,
aesthetic.
I also talk about the fact that we haven't noticed any kind of issue with the heat and things like that. Even when we were in Queensland, But that's also possibly because we did keep cabin temperature protection, whatever it's called, on.
The aircon.
The aircon, like we overheat protection.
Yeah, so in the Tesla app, there's a section where you can turn on overheat protection. Basically, if the car gets up to 38 degrees inside,
It'll
turn
down.
the air conditioning on, or it'll turn some fans on.
And so we do use that, and also before we get to the car, we tend to turn the aircon on
a couple of minutes
beforehand to cool the car down. So we haven't seen a need to have
tinting or anything like that.
and things like that.
And like on really hot days, like when it's like 40 degrees Celsius in summer in Melbourne, like for like an inch or two down from the glass, if you put your hand there, you can feel the heat. But the heat doesn't seem to radiate sort of past.
For us, and that's the thing is like
we're short. We don't notice.
Your mileage may vary. There's some potholes. So that's how we manage the glass roof heat situation. I know a lot of people, and perhaps if you're living in Queensland, you might have a different situation. You may need to actually get sunshades and things like that, but we haven't found it to be an issue.
No. And it is tinted, like it is.
Yes.
It comes tinted.
It comes tinted. We haven't gotten it more tinted.
Yeah.
Because apparently.
Why bother?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were thinking about. we'll do the auto parking.
Oh my god! I didn't do such a good job last time.
No. Well, I'm close. Oh no, it's doing a terrible. Sorry. Yeah, it's doing a terrible job. I could do a better job.
Yes.
No.
Adventures in the Herbert road trip. Would you like me to go plug in?
Yes, please. I think we're about as close as we need to be. Normally we would have had lunch in Gundagai.
It's a bit early.
It's a bit early. It's only 11 o'clock, and we all had pies and quiches and whatnot this morning, so we're all pretty full. So I think what we'll do is we'll bathroom break, stretch legs, and then we will, probably have lunch in Wangaratta because
It's 3 hours.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. We might
stop somewhere on the way.
Yeah, we might stop in Aubury to charge, not because we need to charge, but because we're hungry.
Yeah.
So because Aubury's about 2 hours. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. Anything to add?
No.
Actually, anything to add? He's booking away to his music. We'll catch you up in a bit. Welcome back. It's interesting. The car seems to have sort of decided. It's realised that, you people always charge for longer, so I'm going to suggest fewer charges but longer charging stops. Because this morning it was saying, stop in Aubury, and it's normally like 15, 20-minute charges, where it's saying, we're already at 83%, and it's saying, why don't you stay another 5 minutes, and then you can get all the way to Wangaratta. You should get there with about 16%, but then charge there for 50 minutes, skip Euroa, and
just go home.
Go home, and you should get there with about 15%. By the way, you don't live at Chadstone, but that's just easy to navigate to.
It's not easy to navigate in Chadstone. It's very confusing.
It certainly is. But I actually think what we're going to do is, even though the car's saying stay for another 5 minutes, I think it's saying to give us that little bit of buffer for to get to Wangaratta with 20%. But we're comfortable if we get there anywhere with over 10%.
Look, at this stage, I'd be comfortable if we get there with 5 to 10%.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot more stressed about.
Yeah, a lot more relaxed. So I reckon we head off now, because worst comes to worst, we can stop at Aubury and top up. And I'm actually quite happy with that because Aubury.
You kind of want to stop at Aubury.
I know.
Keep on can we stop at Aubury?
Because it's the new version 4s and I've never seen them, so I'm kind of keen to see them. So worst comes to worst, the car will reroute us to Aubury if we end up using more charge than it thinks we're going to use. So please unplug.
Shortly.
And it'll be interesting to see how much the car complains about. No, don't unplug. We have to keep going. Blah blah blah. So yeah.
That's actually a really good point because I wonder now that.
Well, look at that. So you unplug. As soon as you unplugged,
it says we
said we were going to get to Wangaratta with 9%, and now it's going no. Go to Wodonga. Okay, but we're not going to go with Wodonga. We're going to Aubury. We'll change that in the nav.
Do you want me to add?
Yes. So
stop?
If you can add a stop and add.
Hang on. How do I get this? Just Aubury supercharger?
Yeah, just start typing in supercharger.
This is It's really hard to type while
Sorry, I'm going slow.
driving. No.
Or maybe just search for it on the map.
Okay, hang on a second.
So if you just pull the map out, because it'll be right before the Wodonga one. So if you go to where Wodonga is, so yeah, up there.
It's not coming up.
Hang on, if we do this, sorry.
That's all right, you do it. So I was there. It's Wodonga.
Let's pull over so
it's
we
not
can get
coming.
out of the way.
It's not showing.
Okay, so we're gonna have to type it.
All right, so hang on a second. Okay, I think I have an idea here.
Yeah.
Hang on. Add stop.
Yes. Yes. Good idea. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Edit.
Okay.
And actually kind of cool that the car's now smart enough to go, so you want to go to Aubury, cool. So go to Aubury, don't go to Wangaratta, stop in Euroa. Yep,
Yeah.
cool, okay. So yeah, so if you do charge for a little bit longer at each charging stop, like if you go to 90% instead of 80%, you could do it in
Three stops.
3 stops.
And we could have easily have done that. But the car freaked out.
And we could still go to Wangaratta.
But it's 2.5 hours of driving.
Yeah, it's,
This is now going to be 2 hours of driving. So it's only actually half an hour extra, really.
yeah.
To Wangaratta.
But 120, we get there for lunch.
Yes.
And
Because we haven't, we had breakfast.
although we should have charged for even less time here, so we'd need to charge for longer in Aubury. So that
Never happy.
I know.
Never happy. Charge more, charge less.
I know.
Too much of a stop, too little of a stop.
Well, again, it's our lack of planning and forethought.
Planning. What's planning?
Yes, I know.
It's the same thing as scripting.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay. This is an experience.
Wow. Looks like the car can go off-roading just fine. Jumping Jehoshaphat's.
Okay.
That's
An experience.
I get why they've closed the road, but why have they opened it
I
again?
know, the road should not have been opened again.
This is.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going down. We're going. Nope, you did
No,
well there.
I know, I've dodged it, so
All
we're
right.
okay.
Well done. That was a little bit of a roller coaster,
Yeah.
quite literally.
And this is always fun leaving here because you do need to vroom a bit. Am I clear on the side?
No, but just you got some time.
I'll let them pass me. All cars have passed.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
so we're going to Aubury. We'll be there in an hour and 53 minutes. Wow, this guy should buy me dinner. He was so far up my rear end.
Yep.
Dude, I'm just, okay, settle pedal. I know you want to go faster than the speed limit. Off you go. Have a lovely time.
And now he's
And now they slow down.
not. Okay. Really?
Huh. There you
She's
go.
in a rush.
She is in a rush. Anywho, that
Don't
is...
tailgate, people. Don't tailgate. Sorry.
Yes.
Anywho, that was...
Yes, and I think we'll, if we can, because I was thinking of trying the Mochi donuts back there, but I'm not hungry, so we'll wait till we're in Aubury and we'll
Yep.
try it then. So,
He will try the Mochi donuts. I will eat lunch. Alrighty.
nutrition of sort, yeah.
See you then.
See you then. We are just taking the turn off now, I think.
Soon
Yes.
to Aubury.
To Aubury. Interesting that it's 5 minutes off the highway, so it's a little bit of a bit
Of a detour.
of a detour, yeah. But again, I kept bitching and moaning that I wanted to see this charger, so
I really hope it's everything you're expecting, because like
it's gonna be so disappointing.
it's kind of been a focus.
Not
But it-
hugely.
Every trip it's been, oh, we're not going to get to to Aubury. I really want to see Aubury. Aubury, you've got a lot of expectations.
Loving up. Plug in. We've been listening to a lot of, one of our favourite podcasts is The Rest is History, which is like all historical stuff. So we're listening to Titanic, we're listening to World War II stuff, listening to an interesting thing about the moon landings.
Yeah.
And now I'm listening to a really nerdy podcast about Apple stuff. Looking at our efficiency, a
10.3 kilometre per hour wind from the west coast, 7.2 this trip.
and elevation cost us 3.6%.
Interesting.
But interesting that it was up and down and up and down and up and down. I think it was predicting that we were going to get there with about 30%.
Yeah, at one point it was down to 28. It was holding strong at 28 for a while, and now it's back up to 30.
Back up to 30. So
again, I know we could have done this. We could have gone straight through to Wangaratta, but
yeah, but I wanted to see these charges.
You want to see these charges, so we will skip Wangaratta, and after this we will go to Euroa.
And you'll probably, Simon won't forgive me if you say Euroa. You got to say Euroa the boat to catch the fish.
You've spent way too much time with Simon.
Hey, I don't make the rules. That's Simon's rule. So, and I've never been to Aubury, so this is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, just off the highway at the moment, so there's this little shopping centre there. This is something that the car could be. Again, the A is not very I. So we're at a red light. And I've got the thing turned on that when the light goes green, the car bings if you don't start driving. If you're daydreaming a little bit and you're looking to the side or whatever, and it turns green, so it goes, go. But sometimes it sees the green turning arrow
and goes bong,
bong. Oh, I see a green light. But it's like, I don't have my indicator on. I'm not in the turning lane. Surely this car should be smart enough to know whether it's a round green light or an arrowed green light. But I wonder if maybe they don't have that in the US.
Yeah.
And the people who design the software are based in the US. Yes. And I find very often US-based software developers are very... This is how it works in the US, therefore we assume this is how it works everywhere else in the world.
Yep.
Well, this is actually very lovely tree-lined...
It's very
streets, and very pretty. And the weather's been we've been in and out of cloud the whole. What's this person doing? We've been in and out of cloud the whole trip.
Mm.
It's been cloudy, and then it's been bright, and then it's been cloudy, and then it's been bright, and so it's been a little bit all over the place.
We're turning at Stanley Street.
Okay.
This is Engelhard.
Okay, now people are turning there, so that's all right. It didn't look to me like there was, because there's lights, and then the turn. But cool, we're good.
There we are at Stanley Street.
And there's the parking building, which I presume is where it all is. And each time it's got the light, the light blue line is after we leave. That's where we're going. So we will turn left coming out of here. There we go.
Okay. But it's kind of like you're here. I'm not going to tell you where to go.
Nice signage.
Good signage. Well done, Aubury. We'll have to take a picture of that.
Well, there's that sign, and there's a sign with an arrow telling us where to go. Very nice.
Good work.
And it looks like we're going up the ramp.
Good work.
Oh, this is
almost like luxurious.
Again, this is one of the newer things. So they're learning.
Except now.
Now, it's one way.
Oh,
so
and it says Tesla up there, and that's a big sign up there.
Well, that is a bit of an incline, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And there are all the chargers. Quite a busy spot.
It is.
And we're right next to the bowls club, which is cool.
I'm not planning to play a spot of bowls.
No.
I'm planning to get a spot of lunch.
Oh, and they've got one for bike racks.
Interesting.
I know the auto park thing came on, but I know how much I'm doing the quote things, love that, so we will not do that.
That's fine.
Now, what side am I supposed to plug? I presume I plug into the one that I'm just behind. It's just behind us.
Do you want me to go do it, or do you want to do it?
I'll go work it out.
It's the first one. First time you've done this one.
So this, I'm guessing, is where the tap and pay thing is, when they will have tap and pay. Do I have to touch anything? Okay, I'm confused. I've already been defeated. It's a little bit streamlined. Try and do this one-handed. Oh, where's the button? There's the button. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm pushing the button. I'll just... Blue, green. I wonder if anything shows up on here. No, nothing here, but I think this is where the tap and pay goes, and they'll have that.
109, 130, 154, 171,
Oh, okay.
169.
So full speed, pretty much.
Full speed ahead.
We've
11
got,
minutes
we've
to
got
continue.
11 minutes to find a bathroom.
Yes, and get food
Yeah.
because we need lunch.
Yes.
So even if we have to move the car, I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. We'll work something out.
all right. I don't know how you do the whole blabbering on to camera because it's like I was like, I've run out of things. My brain, it is empty.
Well, yeah. It's yes. Brain empty. We will see you in a bit.
Hi, welcome back.
Yes. Surprise, surprise. We stayed here longer than the car was telling us to, but that's because. So I thought there was a shopping centre here, but it's actually attached to the commercial club, which is like a
An RSL,
like
like
a returning services
services.
returning services league.
I don't know.
Anyway, so it's like a pub, but I mean it's huge, like it's
Yeah.
massive. Be aware that you do need to show your license to sign in as a guest.
Yes.
So don't leave your license in the car because you'll have to come back up to get your license to go use the bathroom. And I checked with the security. Like it's interesting because I said to you as we came out of the bathroom, we didn't go into the same one.
No.
Was that
yeah.
I wonder what their closing hours are because what if they're only open from like 9 to 5 or 9 to 10 or whatever, and you need to use the facilities and you can't, they're closed. But so we asked the security guard and he was like during the week I think he said they're open till like 1 or 2 in the morning.
So one in the morning until on a Monday, Thursday. It's Friday.
Friday, Saturday I think was
2
until
a.m.
2 a.m.
and then Sunday it's till 12.
Yeah, and they're open at 8.
Yeah.
So trying to get here at 6 a.m. Because I'm not sure where the nearest bathroom would be.
I'm sure there is something,
Yeah, I'm sure
but it's a
there
little bit of a...
Yeah.
I need to ask you,
Yes.
did the Aubury charges live up to your expectations?
The chargers are really nice. I mean, they look cool.
They do look cool.
I couldn't work out how to get the button to. I actually had to manually open up the charge board because but I was trying to do it one-handed while filming, so
okay.
it could just be that I was just stuffing about. Very nice. I mean, Archie, how many locations do they have here? Has he got his headphones on?
Headphones on.
Sorry.
15.
15. So 15 spots. It's a lot of spots, and they're spread out, which is interesting, nice. They've got bins next to 2 spots, so if you need to just chuck stuff away. They've got fire extinguishers all over the place, which hopefully they never need. But yeah, fast chargers.
Yep.
They're the 250 ones. So yeah, no, again, it would be nice if it was attached to a shopping centre as opposed to.
Yep.
Well, I suppose the shopping centre would actually be closed less. It would have earlier hours than So yeah, better and yeah.
Okay,
good.
so now we have
Tons of charge.
tons of charge. We can get to Euroa.
Yeah, so predicting that we're going to get there with, we'll unplug in a sec. It's predicting we'll get there with 41%. How much have we delayed our return? Oh, okay, cool. So somehow we're getting to Melbourne earlier than we were planning. I don't know how it's, maybe traffic's getting better or worse.
Look,
and
it's going to suit me regardless because I've got groceries being delivered between 6 and 7.
Cool, I will unplug and we will be on our way. No, and I just had to try it because I couldn't get it out of the charger at first. Because, okay, so you have to lift and then pull.
But don't you have to lift and then pull with all of them?
You probably do, but it confused me here for a bit. So
All right.
anyway,
So now to get out of here, I have to go
up there, round. I'll watch the other guy in the Model
right.
3. So we go up there and then all the way
Can
around.
I change something here?
Sure. What do you need to change?
When it comes to the navigation, I want to put the sound on.
Fair enough.
Just a little bit. It'll annoy the heck out of you, and I'm sorry.
No, you're driving. I'm going to try and nap.
Okay.
And I do love how there's 16 spots and someone still managed to ice one of them.
Yep. And it is like the prime spot with the entrance to the bowls club, so that's probably why. Cool number plate. I won't say the number plate, but cool number plate. Okay. Where am I?
Left.
100 meters, turn left onto Cure Street.
Okay. I mean, she can't get the pronunciation quite right, can she?
There's just no pleasing us, is there?
No. It's here? Yes.
Yep. And then I think
Oh,
we
and
go-
200 meters I was supposed to turn. I don't think I was supposed
Oh,
to.
yeah. So go right here.
All right. Well, no, it's rerouted.
Okay, so
So
go
I'm
left.
going to get my sunnies. Sorry, everyone. I don't have
pretty
as
cool.
cool sunnies as Lee does.
If you want a discount code,
No, because I actually don't like the shape of them for
I was talking to them.
myself. Have a discount code
If
for
they want a discount code, it's on my website, notacarguy.io. That is an affiliate code, so I do get a little bit of commission on every sale on that code. But
Whoops. Sorry.
yeah, have a look. They're really cool glasses. But I'm not going to
Sorry.
yammer. I'm going to let Mandy concentrate.
Yeah. There are more cars here than I thought. Okay. Where am I going?
In 130 meters, turn left.
Okay.
Right, so we are going to be in Euroa in 1 hour and 38 minutes, 160 kilometers.
Now turn left onto Creek Street.
I already told her.
Sorry.
And yeah, fairly straightforward. We
Yep.
will
Catch you on the flip side.
catch you in Euroa. Right, we are just taking the turn off to Euroa. We are 3 minutes away from the charger.
Right onto Euroa Main Road exit.
Sorry.
The car, I think it predicted that we were going to get here with 40%.
Yeah, around that.
So now it's predicting we're going to get there with 41%. If we have a look at the efficiency app, I keep forgetting what I should really find out what this app is called. So again, headwind cost us 6.9%. It's interesting, like the wind in between each charging stop cost us like 7%, 8%, 6%, like it's almost 30%
Yeah.
battery over the whole trip. Elevation was a fair bit, everything. But yeah, fairly uneventful trip. Interesting that the car started preconditioning like 20 minutes out. Like that was
24 minutes out.
24 minutes out. Like normally it starts preconditioning for like 15 minutes out. So it's interesting that it preconditioned that soon afterwards.
Yeah.
This is quite a nice supercharging location. There's a nice park and bathroom across the street. So definitely, like, it's a shame because it'd be a lovely place to have lunch. Because
Yeah.
if you brought your own lunch, it'd be really
Which is
nice.
what we did.
I forgot to mention. Yeah, we were going to have lunch at Aubury, but it wasn't. Oh, cool! Wow, they've got 3 Teslas. Fancy.
I swear, I think they only had 2 the last time we drove past them.
Maybe a friend's visiting.
Maybe. Where am I going?
Going over the bridge, and you pretty much, basically, as you get over the bridge, you turn right. So you sort of start slowing on the bridge. Yeah, we're going to have lunch in Aubury, but because it was so like a pubby sort of thing, I thought it was going to be a supermarket, so it'd be like a food court or something. And so
Turn right onto Melbourne
So, yeah?
yeah, there's a giant crow or magpie statue, and
It's a magpie. Yeah.
yeah, and we're turning left just after that silver car. And yeah, so instead we had like a baguette, some cold meat, and some hummus. So we just made ourselves sandwiches on the bonnet of the car and
Yeah.
and had lunch there. And you can either pull in sideways next to the bike rack one, or you can back into
I will back
whichever
in.
one you like. And there's no one here.
There's no one here. Well, I suppose it is a Monday
Yeah.
afternoon.
It's been, the charges have been really not, sort of like overly busy
No.
or anything. And we really, I reckon we'll charge for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most.
Tea break, please. Stretch
Yes,
my legs,
no,
bro.
yeah.
Because I drank lots of water to keep myself, focused and awake.
A little bit more,
Yeah.
a little bit more. Yep, you're good. We'll plug in and we
Let
will
me
find
know
out.
if I'm not.
Ooh.
Am I close enough?
Hang on. I'll let you know in a second. Yep, I think we're good.
Oh, there we go.
No, yeah, 109. Yeah, and I mean,
Okay.
well, again, there's 42% in the battery, so it's
Yeah.
not, battery's not that empty.
No, it is not.
So yeah, so we're getting maximum speed, which is nice. It reckons we need to be here 10 minutes, so that's nice and easy. If we left now, we would get to Chadstone with -6%.
Not
Would
possible.
be a lot of downhill required. But yeah, we will take a break and we will catch you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
This was a really quick stop.
Like, it said 10 minutes, and I reckon it was probably closer to 5.
Yeah,
It said
'cause-
you're ready to go.
Because we had like just enough time to go to the bathroom, and already the car was saying let's get going. I think it was like at 65%. It was saying we can go, it's fine.
Yeah.
But let's try this. I've been building this up so much. These mochi donuts. So let's see. The ones I was really keen on were the
So we've got four flavours. We've got
Yes.
2 Biscoff.
2 Biscoff, 2 chocolate, 1 brown sugar, and 1 just plain. Archie, would you like to try one?
No, thank you.
You don't want to try a donut?
It's a mochi donut.
Okay.
Okay, which one are you trying?
I'm trying the Biscoff because that was the one I was most excited about.
Alrighty. Does it just taste like a donut?
It tastes like a donut.
Alright, actually, it just tastes like a donut.
Actually, yeah.
It's like it's like circular. So I thought it would like have
Mochi in it,
mochi or something in it, but
I suppose. Yep, it's just a donut.
just donut. Would you like the plain one, Archie, or would you like one with chocolate?
I like the that one, please.
Alright, well,
Well, let's get Archie's opinion.
Hard.
Hard? Maybe yours was cold.
yeah, it was because it's got a harder shell.
You don't like it? Okay.
I will have a taste. Didn't even get a proper bite of it. It's quite nice. It's just that the chocolate's quite hard.
They're nice donuts, but I don't know why they're called. Maybe it's just a branding thing.
I don't mind this one.
I imagine there'd be. Can I taste that one, please?
They're okay.
It's donut.
It's a donut.
Brown sugar one might be interesting. Oh well. We will work through those over the next week or so.
Yep. Would you like me to unplug?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So, saying we're going to get home with about 29%. I think that should be fairly accurate. Yeah, we'll pick up when we're close to Melbourne, but
I would just like it to be noted that I have groceries being delivered tonight. And in those groceries, I have salad and vegetables and fruit and all sorts of healthy things.
have another bite of your donut.
Shut up. Just would like it to be noted.
Duly noted.
Thank you.
Right, on to the final stretch.
I quite like this donut.
It is, you know what? You know what the thing I like about these donuts? They're not big. They're smaller donuts, and I actually like that because I find very often donuts are just they're too stodgy sometimes. So the fact that these are smaller donuts, they're for donuts they're light. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yes. Oh, we've been listening to a really cool audiobook that you put on. What If? Yeah, it's called What If. Basically,
Sorry, I turned my microphone off.
basically it's
By the creator of What If? Serious scientific questions to absurd hypothetical questions. So scientific answers to absurd hypothetical questions by Randall Munro, who is the creator of XKCD cartoon. It's a web cartoon. It's really
I'm not
fun.
familiar with that one, but okay. And it's read by Will Wheaton.
It is. It is. Super
So
interesting.
if you're on a long drive, that's also an option for you. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Gonna go nice slow because it's 40 time because I think it's school time. Yes, we will. Now it's pretty. We're going to get to Melbourne with 30%.
Yep.
That's just because we're going so slow right now.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like it seems to be like it starts with its prediction from like this moment.
It does.
Oh, I think that's that's an
Electric
MG ZS EV.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah, we will bring you back up to speed when we are closer to home.
Yes.
See you in a couple of hours.
Flowers. Bye.
Welcome home.
Yay.
I'm not saying we brought the rain with us because I'm pretty sure it was here before we got here.
It was very much predicted to rain, so we didn't bring it with us.
We didn't. Yeah, not our fault for a change.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
welcome home. So for those who are familiar with Melbourne and their roads, the car is telling me to take the bridge under the city. I ain't doing that at 5:30 in the afternoon because.
I mean, it'd be lovely. We'd be stuck in there for hours.
40 minutes, not an hour.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting. So I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Kingsway.
All right.
I mean, that'll still be
It's
chockers.
pretty bad, but yeah.
But it'll just feel like I'm not standing. You know what? It's because I'm cheap and I don't want to pay a toll to be stuck in traffic. If I'm going to be stuck in traffic, I may as well be stuck in traffic for free.
Oh boy.
There we go. I've admitted it.
Oh boy.
I dread to think what our toll bill's going to be for this 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, we took tolls all the time.
We didn't pay attention. We were just like,
Go.
get us there as fast as you can, and if there's tolls, there's tolls. So
Yeah. And we took every toll.
yeah. It is convenient though that our link thing, our little buzzy thing on the windshield works.
E-tag.
Our little e-tag works in Sydney as well.
I know, very convenient actually.
Yeah, so we don't have to think about. We don't have to pay attention
Yeah.
to. Oh, we went through that toll. We have to pay for that. Blah blah kind of thing. Yeah. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And we are now coming up on the
Westgate.
the lovely sculptures, the Balti,
Yep. The zip.
and the. What's that called? The Zip.
The yellow thing.
Yeah.
I think it's called the zip. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's called the zip.
But it doesn't look like a. Why is it called the Zip?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's because it's got the red bits there too.
Well, those.
So it's kind of like.
It's a very far apart zip, if that's a zip.
It's modern art.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like it, but I don't get modern art.
Well, no, and Archie we did end up going to the Museum of Contemporary Art briefly in Sydney because Archie was interested, and we saw a little bit of the biennial Sydney Biennial, and there were some really interesting pieces of art. We only explored one floor before.
Archie got bored. But hey, we were impressed that he wanted to go in there to begin with.
We did keep on checking, going, you wanted to go in here? He's like, yeah, I want to go in.
He did, though, then just want to go up and down the lift.
Well, the lift was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool with a really nice
It was a
view.
glass lift.
Yeah, so if any aspiring modern artist wants to just pretend the lift is an exhibition,
Just put a
and that's the beauty of modern art.
an abstract in it.
Yeah, anything can be art, can't it? I've spat on the window. That represents my angst of, I don't know. Was I subtle about my opinion of modern art?
Really? No, tell me what you really think.
No, I like some of it, but I think a lot of it is pretentious and they just make stuff up.
Look, there was one thing there that I was like, that's quite literally someone just filming some shadows on the steps.
Actually, that one I stared at for like 5 minutes because I appreciated the technical. That takes some technical prowess from an editing point of view because what they did is they masked out the people.
Right.
So they actually filmed people walking up the stairs
And masked them out.
and then masked the people out so you just see the shadows.
Okay.
That I can appreciate, and that I was actually quite mesmerized with that one. So, there we go. That one I actually liked.
Okay.
But again, that's because I can understand
Yeah.
the effort and the skill that's gone into creating that art. So I suppose if I understood art better,
maybe.
then maybe I would appreciate it better. Fair enough. Still think it's pretentious.
Okay.
Yeah. Get a real job, you bloody hippies.
Been a long holiday.
You know what a BA stands for? Bugger all.
Thanks.
Yeah, but you've got a master's BA. That's different.
Masters in bugger all.
You've got a master's in bugger all. You worked very hard for that bugger all. It was a very expensive bugger all.
It's a very expensive bugger all. Oh.
And in defense of my opinion, using that master's, getting a lot of good use out of it. Followed a career in that industry, have we?
Beep off. Beep off.
That's all right. I'm not doing what I studied.
What did you study?
Bugger all. But mine was the cheap bugger all.
The free one.
Yeah, the free one.
Oh.
I'm a student of the streets. Welcome home. Welcome to Melbourne.
Yay.
Welcome to traffic. Okay, this truck wants to get in. I'll try and scoot ahead.
Yeah. And the traffic hit like suddenly.
Yeah.
We were going
Yeah, we were
really
going.
nicely.
We're great
decent
guns.
Yep. And then
And boom.
yep.
So rain and traffic, and the prediction of it was predicting we were going to get down to 30% by the time we got home, and like as soon as we got on the highway, that just nosedived to like. It's hovered between 25 and like 26 pretty much the whole time.
It did go at one point down to 22, which was a
okay.
bit bizarre. I didn't stay there very long.
And
but
yet
we've
it's
been-
saying we've been more efficient, like way more efficient than it was predicting. So maybe it's just excited to come home and it's like, I'm going to just make stuff up now.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll also say it was very optimistic about what time we were going to get home.
yes. Because look at this I mean,
This is just...
yeah, just red line the whole way sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
And I have to say, there were some trucks that were like coming down that on-ramp, like there was nothing in front of them when there was plenty of stuff in front of them.
That's something that's something that confuses me sometimes about trucks is sometimes like they come in pretty hot. Are you indicating or are you just swerving into my lane? No, I don't know what you're doing. Like they come in pretty hot, but like they're higher up, so theoretically they should be able to see further ahead and they can see all the brake lights. So
I don't know.
anyhow.
I don't know. There was a little bit of a moment of...
Yeah, like the truck's coming next to us. I was like, is he gonna stop in time?
Yeah.
He did, so
Yeah.
yeah, that was fine. We're gonna try and do a little bit of. I mean, we're almost an hour away. I might put a little title underneath the bottom here to say how much percentage we actually got home with.
And what time we eventually
And
got
yeah,
home.
so I'll put down here what time and what percentage. But at the moment, it's predicting we'll get home with 26%. We'll get there about 6 o'clock. I think that's probably about accurate. I
Yeah.
think maybe might be a bit 10 minutes later and.
I think it'll be a bit later because it is kind of... The traffic's pretty bad with the rain
Yeah, and percentage might actually be a little bit better as well.
because we're not moving very much.
Because, yeah, it's going to be so stop-start that that's actually better for the car's efficiency and whatnot. But I thought we'd do the summation now because it's getting darker and the cameras are going to struggle to
Yep.
see us. Right, so we've done... Just tap on trips, please.
Trips.
Trips. So, Gold Coast. So, overall, we've done... I mean, this is not all the highway driving, but it's driving around where we were, all that kind of stuff.
But
Three-
most of it's highway driving.
Yeah, most of it's been highway driving, so 3,722 kilometres.
Yep.
We've used 584 kilowatt hours of
Charge.
charge, and this has got like a 60 kilowatt battery. So let's say, yeah, we basically used like 100. We filled the battery up. Wait,
10 times.
10 times. Yes,
10
we filled the
times.
battery up 10 times. Me and maths, not so good.
And average energy use has been 158 watt hours per kilometre.
Yeah.
So it's actually been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, when you say like this one was like this drive's been 167, so
Yeah.
already this one. Thoughts?
The driving was fine. It's highway driving. It's dual carriageway. It's easy driving generally. I reckon we could have done today in 3 stops if we hadn't wanted to see the amazing, beautiful Aubury charges. But the drive was fine. It's easy to do. That said, I don't know if I would be that keen to do a Melbourne to Gold Coast drive again.
No.
Just because, and it actually doesn't matter about the car, EV or not EV.
It's still a lot of
It's
driving.
a lot of driving. It's far. It's far. It's far.
Yeah, it's just a lot of driving, and it's just. I mean, it'd be lovely if we had high speed rail between all the major cities. We
Oh
could
my God, wouldn't that be
take
amazing?
high speed rail, but all the comedy shows that I've seen, like Utopia, have all said it's not financially viable. Big country, small population.
Yeah.
That would be nice, but so we'll just fly next time, I think. Yes.
But it is so doable. It's not difficult at all. I mean, I'm speaking from a Tesla point of view. Obviously, we use all the Tesla superchargers, but most of the Tesla superchargers are now open to a lot of them.
About 50 to 60%. So
Yeah,
it's,
but more and more.
a good enough to make use of them.
Yeah.
Yes, and there are non-Tesla chargers around, just not as many.
Yeah. So, your thoughts?
I mean, pretty much echo what you said.
Echo.
Ditto. Is that better? Yeah, you know, I mean, I've done a lot of drives. It's funny, like as you were saying, you know, it's a lot of driving. Wouldn't do it again. And I was thinking, yeah, it's a lot of driving. I'd rather just wouldn't do it again. But I might be driving a car yet to be announced. Well, no, it's been announced, but it's yet to be announced. I might be driving a car to Perth later in the year.
I'm not doing that with you.
No, Simon's keen, so we'll see if he can get a pass from the wife.
That would be a very funny video. Both of you going nutso.
God, we'd probably be trying to kill each other by the time we got to the Nullarbor.
I think you'd probably try
It's about the halfway mark, I
Yeah,
think.
I think so. Oh God help you both. I love you to bits, but I am not doing that with
No.
you.
No, we want to continue loving each other.
Exactly.
So no, yeah. I mean, look, we've blathered on so much. I think we've covered everything that we could have covered. Also, I'm trying to concentrate on driving on the highway in rush hour while it's raining.
But yeah, this is, you know what, everyone's, you know, the Melbourne to Sydney route, it's just dark, I don't know if anyone's going to see me. The Melbourne to Sydney route is, like, we've done that a number of times, and it's fine. And the Sydney to Gold Coast route, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's
Better than the Melbourne to Adelaide
oh my
route.
God, so much better than the Melbourne to Adelaide route. Love you, Adelaide, but the route between Melbourne and Adelaide is
A lot of single carriageway.
a lot of single carriageways, a lot of regional towns, so you're slowing down.
Getting stuck behind
And
trucks.
lots of trucks, so many trucks. I enjoyed, when I was doing the driving, I enjoyed having the
Autopilot.
Autopilot. I enjoyed, it didn't work, the overtaking or changing lanes didn't always work, but it worked more often than not for me, and it gave me a bit more confidence. So I really enjoyed that. I don't know, I think it's doable. Do it.
Yeah. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was useful. If you have found it helpful or useful, please like and subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you in the next one. Safe and happy driving. Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I can see some dust on the lens.
I can see some dust in the lens.
It was
Yes.
dust on the lens. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black glass. I'm wearing a grey t-shirt in this weather, which is not a great idea because you're going to see some sweat marks as the day goes on. And I'm sitting in my Tesla Model Y with my lovely family because we are on our way home. Do you have the address?
I do. That's the address.
Yeah, cool. So we'll just put in.
No, yeah.
Yep.
It's not the address, but yes.
What have I done?
Can I just do it?
Yes, please do. been a long week. Don't make me shake, I'm full of chocolate.
Wait, you've been eating chocolate? No! I know.
I've got a zit on my face at the moment.
Based on your zit.
Yes. Oh, damn, I did the joke wrong. I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
And yeah, we've been eating really bad on this trip. In fact, I've got a face on a couple of zits.
They are quite
Yeah.
prominent.
I think also, I think it's also part of karma, because I remember when I was about 9 or 10, we visited cousins of mine who live overseas, and my older cousin had quite bad acne, and I very cruelly, because kids can be cruel,
So cruel.
kept calling him Pizza Face, and
Oh my
so
God.
and so this is karma paying me back.
You were nasty.
I was a nasty kid. I only developed a conscience when I was like 16. So this is so I now into my late 40s still get acne when I eat badly.
Yeah.
So fair enough. I'm getting what I deserve.
You are. Oh, I'm all tangled.
Okay, yeah. So I
How
presume
do I get myself all tangled?
I'm not
Okay,
driving.
there we are. Okay.
Just check if I've turned that on.
Yes.
Oh, good. Sorry, I was just checking if the microphones were on.
Yeah. And considering how little we tend to drink, just generally,
We're going to be working our way through those macadamias anyway.
one day.
By the way, Mandy jumped online and found, instead of turns out that it appears that macadamias need a specific kind of nutcracker. So
Well, this is just according to my 5 minutes of the Googling. So correct me, but I may be able to get one from the online company that shall not be named. I don't know why, but Amazon. So I might be able to get one for less than $50 though. I think I saw one for 10.
Cool, so Dutch, like a
oh,
Dutch restaurant
good.
thing. Cloves and
Yeah.
Charlotte, we're thinking of you.
Thinking of you, Charlotte. But yeah, so we will hopefully be able to eat those macadamia nuts. But honestly, it's going to take us a long time to get through that many macadamia.
It is like a kilo and 1.2 kilos of macadamias.
Yes.
I do like macadamias. And the shells probably weigh a lot, so it's probably mostly shell.
I still suspect that the next road trip you take, we may be pulling out the bag of macadamias.
We don't want to crack them in the car, we'll make a mess. We'll have to crack them before we leave.
No, I just want to say, as the next road trip you take with Simon, I'm fully expecting Simon to be cracking macadamias in the car.
I'm sure
Simon?
He'll be happy to. Is what Tesla calls lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control. The way that you turn on, well, the way that you know. No. Let me try that again. Although these mics are pretty good.
Okay. It might be alright.
Dear viewer, for us, this is very, very loud. Archie's crackling, opening up a bag of popcorn. But
I did also think the bags of popcorn might last us for both days of the trip,
have you met our son?
but they are not. But I think that's very weird.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, isn't it?
No, because you should have gone there.
Oh, okay. It's not weird. I'm an idiot. I'll make it work. Why would you be? And I'm sure I would get used to it if we ever moved to the Gold Coast.
No.
Oh, the humidity.
I lived in Brisbane for 4 years. I didn't get used to the humidity, but apparently some people do.
Yeah.
I will say one thing was really quite interesting is that I remember reading over summer or even last year, people complaining about how things never dry. I don't know how to, issues with things drying. And I was like, how are things not dry? I now understand. I fully understand now. We put towels and bathers outside to dry and they did not. Well, they did. They just took a lot longer than I would have expected. And hanging things in the room to dry was useless. Yeah, and the humidity's just, my hair is just gone. What's a Herbert road trip without
Doing the wrong thing.
going the wrong way?
And now we're going right again. This is a very roundabout way of getting somewhere.